Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Small Brain Gremlin podcast. I'm Mosquito, and I'm joined today by Leapfrog Podcho.
Oh.
We're gonna be playing Bloons TD6 today, but that's not the main draw. We're just gonna, this is a podcast. It's mostly about talking, content creation.
The popping of the balloons is just for the occasional neuron activation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I will be muting the game on my end, just to make sure, it is very
no
nicely
balloon
listenable.
pops? You are depriving our listeners of the balloon pops, Moss? I cannot believe it.
I'm sorry. I feel like they would be very distracting.
Fair.
If you're just listening to it.
That's fair. I'm trolling. Don't worry about it.
How dare you troll me? But yeah, we'll be playing it on the side. There's a reason Reap is covering part of the game. It's literally just there, so we have something to keep us occupied while we're talking. Because to me, it's way harder to talk if I'm actually only focusing on talking. But yeah, so Leap, you stream yourself, right? Almost every other day, basically?
Yeah, I stream myself, that's true. I stream about 4 days a week, sometimes a little bonus stream here and there. Now, the main focus was Plus R for quite some time, because, it's the most reliable Guilty Gear of my liking to stream reliably and have lots of games with good downtime. But, well, what do you know? Rollback announcement for Xrd. It finally happened. I can't believe it. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I woke up this morning and I checked Discord. I was like, wait, did I just dream yesterday? All of yesterday? Or is it yeah. And in disbelief. And also kind of funny that in my mind I've kind of decided if Xrd doesn't get rollback, I'll have my peace with it, right? I decided that literally a week ago, and what do you know? The desire sensor did its work, and rollback was announced. So I'll be streaming both Plus R and Xrd for the foreseeable future, about 4 days a week. So if you'd like to see that, check out my channel. It's the same as my screen name, Leapfrog_Pocho. And with that, I guess we can conclude the pre-talk shilling.
Oh no, yeah. Right, obviously, Guilty Gear is probably gonna be a big topic today, just because that's how we met, and that's the one thing that really puts us together. Obviously, we're friends beyond just Guilty Gear. I feel like at this point there's been more times where we don't at all play the same things than there has been that we actually do play the same things.
True. I guess the last time we really had that, interest alignment, so to speak, was with Strife. I still remember that. Do you remember that first night when Strife went live and it was kind of a mess to get in? Yeah, it was a mess to get in, and we were in voice chat, oh, did you get in? No, I didn't get in. I'll communicate with the server. Okay, wait. I think it's gonna make it. Oh, no, fuck it, kick me. Oh, that whole roller coaster of emotions the first time. That was.
I remember.
Funny.
I remember. I got that's so seared into my mind. Obviously, one, because I wanted to play so bad, right?
Yeah.
But also two. It's one that, during that stream, I received one of my first ever fan arts.
Oh, dope. Which one is it?
It's the funny one of me as a skeleton sitting in front of Strive, and it's just our code failed to load.
Oh, yeah. Shoutouts. It was Sheathen, right?
Yeah, it was Sheathen,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Sheathen with always the really on point and funny fan art of Moss, also for the events. I really like that first Heavy Moss Cemetery one. I really like that one. That was so sick.
It's that art is kind of fucking legendary. In our circles, I feel like everyone has seen it, and we all agree it's just such a sick fucking art piece.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's definitely in general the art he's done for Heavy Moss Cemetery is just insane, just So
Yeah.
good.
I mean, you really, you gotta appreciate Sheath, and probably one of your most loyal, followers that, hangs around a lot in the Discord, supports with the art. You love to see it. By the way, speaking of art, this reactive PNG of mine right now, that was gifted to me by Kisek, which is like, she's my favorite Potemkin illustrator. So shout out to her. Go follow her on Twitter. Just
Yeah.
underscore Kisek. I'll put it in the chat actually. But yeah, having fan art made for you is just such a wonderful feeling.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also, I just noticed you have that 1 year badge, which is just. Speaking of art, like I fucking love art so much. Right, like I'm like obsessed with like commissioning artists, which is bad because like I don't have money for it.
It's bad for your wallet, but now that I've done it twice, because I don't know if you've seen my most recent commission of Kisek with Plusar Potemkin and Mini Potemkin. You might have not seen it yet, but
No, I haven't.
yeah, no, it's commissioning someone is definitely a vibe because you're if you're supporting that person already, right? Sometimes you might commission someone that you don't like have the complete track record of or whatever. But once you've kind of developed that, like patron artist relationship, it's kind of hard not to like go overboard, because you feel like you wanna support this person in whatever they are doing, but you're also getting something out of it, right? It's a completely fair. It's a completely fair transaction, but it's just a very special kind of relationship. I don't know how else to describe it.
I saw like a Tumblr post where it's like, like having an artist you regularly commission feels like you're like some old like ancient Roman aristocrat who's just like, oh my dear artist, take your time. Your genius must not be rushed.
Yeah, really. Like I was also like super, like, oh no, take your time, don't worry.
It's so funny.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you commission someone and they're because I have to commend Kisek for that. In my instance, just being open about the whole process. Maybe sending some work in progress stuff. Asking like, hey, is this okay? What do you think about this? Really, pulling you into the process. I think that's really important if you're, doing art commissions.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. Like that's something that like most artists like that are worth their salt, at least in my opinion, really do. Is make sure that there's like healthy communication between the client and the artist. I think the number one thing that I really appreciate is I don't know why, but the number one thing, like obviously you don't have an OC, so you might not be able to relate to that too much, but like when I commission an artist, like I always commission them to like draw one of my OCs, right? Every time, right? And like the number one thing, after like they sent me the full piece, when they like, I'm like, oh thank you, it turned out so great, like, which I usually always say because it always turns out great, right? Like,
yeah.
And it turned out so great, and they're like, oh thank you, I love drawing your character, and I'm just like, ah! I freak out. I'm like,
yeah.
I
mean, Potemkin is basically my OC at this point, right? I've kind of attributed Potemkin to me, so fuck everyone who. No, I'm kidding. But
he's mine.
He's mine. But yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. No, I don't really have OCs in that regard, but I do really always appreciate, seeing people's OCs on Twitter, with art, etc. It's it's really dope when people maybe have an idea, but they don't have their own they don't have the quote unquote art skills to really give it life themselves. So then basically outsourcing that to another artist and then them complimenting you on that is must be a good feeling.
Yeah, like I'm shit at drawing, and I don't have the patience to get good at it. Right? I just don't.
I mean, it's basically a lifetime.
No, yeah, it's a huge commitment, and there's like other skills that are just more fun and more worth pursuing for me personally, but I just don't want to commit the time to it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
If it was something I could just easily do on the side, I would probably do it. But that's just not how it is. Like art is such a learned skill. Like I'm genuinely impressed with like people and how much time and effort they dedicate to that whole craft. It's actually crazy. But yeah, right. Like I prefer like streaming, content creation, writing and all that stuff, right? And I guess gaming is somewhat of a skill too, right? Like I we're both like sweaty tryhards,
Yeah, for sure.
Like a good chunk of our enjoyment for shit is definitely getting better at it. I feel like.
That's true. Although I gotta say, I feel like maybe that's why fighting games are such a quote unquote important outlet for me because if we're talking about like my regular day-to-day life, I've never really had the ambition to pursue higher education or whatever, right? I work for anyone who might not know, I work retail, right? But I really like it, and we always joke in retail that you have to like it because you don't do it for the excellent pay. But yeah, I just really like interacting with people. I like to talk a lot. People who know me might hate me for that, but I like to talk a lot, and that's in my normal like day-to-day life. Of course, I strive for like being better at my job, etc. Like if you're trying to sell something, there's always something you can improve there. But yeah, fighting games are really my personal outlet for self-improvement over a long-term goal, right? I think it's definitely, for me personally, and I think for a lot of people, it's important to have that kind of outlet in your life, even if you're not like super ambitious IRL, because to be honest, I'm not. I've never enjoyed pursuing higher education, or school was never, I mean, I enjoyed myself at school, but I've never really been like, oh yeah, I want to get all those straight A's, or oh, I got that amazing job, when I'm done and I want to go to university, etc., etc. I've never been like that. That's not one of the values that I strive for, right? By the way, no shots fired at anyone who does that, right? Just do your own thing. But
now all the shots fired, nerd.
No, but for me personally, fighting games has just been a great outlet for me to self-improvement, staying critical of yourself, and I feel like those values can definitely help if you pull them over to your actual life, right? I feel like fighting games can really help you craft a healthy mindset in that regard, if you approach it in the right way, because there are a lot of people...
Oh yeah, that's something I want to talk about. Yeah,
because there are a lot of people, fighting games, and in particular streaming fighting games is definitely there are some pitfalls there. There are definitely some pitfalls there. You gotta watch your step, or you'll fall pretty hard.
Yeah. But, in regards to mindset and fighting games, right? Like I played like 5 hours of Strive yesterday, which is like nowadays a fucking rarity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, shame I couldn't make it. I was at work yesterday.
Yeah, but, it is what it is, right? Like, that's just the issue with me streaming later, because my internet goes funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, right, like, because, as you said, like, there are some pitfalls, and I feel like it's easy to become too self-critical with something like fighting games, right?
Mm-hmm.
but not just fighting games. Like I see it like in artists and like a lot of other skills. Like
Oh, hell yeah.
that like need that same like amount of honing, right? I see that like with those skills in general, right? Like I don't think I've ever met a single singer who thinks they're actually good at singing.
Yeah. So also, I definitely have to remind artists sometimes who I follow on Twitter or maybe like Kisak themselves that maybe when they're not that happy with something, I understand that as an artist you always got to remain critical of your own work, right? And the same goes for fighting games. If you want to improve, you got to stay critical of your own game. But yeah, you gotta find your balance, right? You gotta find the balance. Also with streaming, you gotta find the balance with being mad at yourself for not performing, or just shrugging and going like, "Hey, I'm having a good time," chat's having fun, etc. Like that difference in mindset can just switch the mood of your stream so easily, right? If you just try and keep
definitely.
a healthy mindset about it. But yeah, it's there are definitely some pitfalls there.
Yeah, I think like right, like something I noticed a lot is like I obviously, right, I'm very open about my struggles with mental health, right? And thank you for the follow, B Circuit. Right, obviously, like I have like problems with like trauma and depression and anxiety, which really like to compound on my sense of self-worth and makes it really hard for me not to tie my self-worth to literally everything I do. Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm doing bad at anything, I immediately feel like very, very bad about myself as a person, as a human being. And right, like, so it makes it hard for me to develop healthy mindsets when tackling skills, and I don't want to say this like as a boohoo, pity me. It's more just something I found is like a challenge for my life. But I feel like I've been doing a lot better at actually working through those issues, and I feel like I'm finally on the way of finally developing a healthy mindset for fighting games.
That's great.
Because I took like a huge step away from Strive, right, and fighting games in general. And I feel like what I realized in the meantime is that right, like something I reflected on a lot when I heard like people talk about constantly like, oh, you gotta get this better at this and that and this and that. And I've had a bunch of friends who like have the same kind of issue where they just kind of fell out of love with fighting games, where they're like, oh, I just can't have fun anymore. I play, I get angry at how I play, and or I just get salty and everything, right? And and I related to that a lot because that's exactly how I feel. Like I get like I got like hella performance anxiety and everything. And in the meantime, I realized something.
Yeah.
The first skill and the most important skill for any hobby that you want to pursue is having fun with the hobby.
Yeah.
That sounds dumb and obvious, but it's something that you can so easily lose track of.
Well, especially if that hobby has an air of performance and meritocracy, right? Because we all know that fighting games have that, and it's kind of funny that you said, because I feel like everyone who tries to get into fighting games, also if you're streaming, right, definitely has to work through that, has to struggle with that, right? And I've also definitely had, especially with Strive, right? Because with Strive, it was all more in the public eye, right? Strive was popping off, it was getting a lot of attention, and then if you were a player that showed any sort of promise, right, during the Strive era, vanilla, then you had a lot of eyes on you, the pressure, etc. And I definitely cracked at that point. Also, it took me a while to just recognize that Strive maybe wasn't the game for me, and I just didn't want to accept that because of all this support and all the streams popping off, etc., etc. But you say it sounds like a simple thing, but it really isn't, right? Especially in these environments where like performance and the meritocracy of it is so prevalent, because the fighting games in the end are still a meritocracy, right? People can't convince me otherwise. There are still too many instances where people are treated differently because of their skill in fighting games within the FGC, and it can be people who are like being carried like by everyone, like, oh, they're so amazing, blah blah blah, because they're good at fighting games, and other people who still might be might be learning, or even people who might be playing fighting games for years and might be stuck at that. Okay, I'm stuck. I can't get further to improve, right? It doesn't matter. I mean, we're all people in the end, but I feel like FGC still has a lot to learn in that regard with the whole meritocracy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, streaming fighting games in particular is full of pitfalls. You have to remain your composure. You have to, like, entertain chat and still try to perform your to the best of your ability. And content creation in the FGC isn't easy. It's
something.
Challenges.
Yeah, and something that people don't realize is, right, like, there's always a pressure on you to not get salty when you play fighting games, right?
Always.
Because you won't have fun if you get salty, right?
Yep.
But
it's a slippery slope, and once you start sliding,
right?
you will go down.
Right, like, but if you stream fighting games, you must not get salty. It's not like you shouldn't, it's you can't. You're just not allowed to. Because if you do, your vibes are gonna be awful. People are not gonna have a fun time watching you. Unless your salt is like funny, but that's only how that's how you attract the assholes you don't actually want in your salt.
Exactly. Then you get these like what's that guy's name? God, I forget that guy's name that's been popping off on TikTok lately. Something with speed. The guy that just goes completely crazy.
God, that piece of shit. I don't like talking bad about other content creators, but when someone is just blatantly bigoted in their content, I'm calling them a piece of shit because they're a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but also this weird energy, I'm definitely not a fan. But yeah, you're right.
He genuinely makes me feel unsafe with how he acts and his energy. Yeah, it's horrible. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not good, and you're right. It's a super slippery slope when you're streaming fighting games, because once you start slipping, it's really hard to regain your composure, right? And it's such a big thing for the whole vibe of your stream. And you say maybe you're like a funny rager, but like 99% of the people that are salty or raging at fighting games, that's not funny. That's just sad. People just feel bad for you.
Yeah.
It's rough, but I feel like you just gotta find your balance. Of course, you're gonna have good and bad days. Lately, I've been getting better at it in acknowledging, especially with Plus R, because Plus R is such like an execution-heavy game, and some days your execution is just not gonna be on point for whatever reason, right? It might be completely trivial, but it might also be out of your control. Maybe you didn't sleep. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe you didn't have a good day at work. Maybe you're frustrated about something else. These are all factors that can play into your enjoyment with fighting games. And speaking of that, I feel like you can do a lot outside of fighting games to make your experience within fighting games a little bit better, right? So just simple things, make sure you get enough sleep when you can, go outside, sometimes go for a walk, right? If you're playing fighting games, I cannot tell you how often I've been playing like off stream. I've noticed I'm catching some sort of vibe where I'm having like maybe animosity towards my opponent, and then I just go like, okay, Leap, step away from the camera. I go watch like a funny YouTube video or whatever. I'm back in 10 minutes. And it's like complete 180, right? Of course, on stream, you don't have that luxury.
Yeah,
like,
you can't do that.
No, you gotta immediately stop yourself in your tracks, which is, can definitely be challenging. But I'm super glad to hear that you had a nice Strive stream, where you're just, just enjoying yourself.
I was having fucking like so much fun. It was fucking...
That clip, I love that Heavy Moss cemetery clip that I saw where you went through the Gigantor. Like, of course it kind of hurt. Of course it kind of hurt that it was a versus Potemkin clip again, because it's always with you.
Yeah, I was like, I smelled that. Like, I smelled that slide head coming, because like a lot of pods love doing Giganta and then trying to force you to block their shit by just making you block slide head or like try and jump at them, right? And I was like, I have 50 tension, and slide head is slow as shit. Can I go through Giganta and punish the slide head with my HMC?
Yes, sir.
Turns out, yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I had like a few really fun moments, like some really nice like impromptu conversions, right? Like, I'm just addicted to like doing on-the-fly conversions with Soul in that game. They're just so fun, so snappy. They feel right, you know? Like it's not like in other games where I have to constantly like remind myself like, oh no, this isn't how it works. Like, if I intuitively feel like something is gonna work, 9 times out of 10 it's just gonna work. And that's just something I don't really have with most other fighting games. You know, it's just, I just feel so naturally at home playing the Strive, like specifically Strive Soul, that just cannot be matched by any other.
I mean, sometimes that character just fits you. You know, it's I can definitely relate, of course, with both Xart and Plus R Potemkin, and sometimes just that one character and that one click is enough to make the whole game more enjoyable for you. You know, like even when maybe you have some. Maybe you have some gripes with the game, right? You can still, if your love for the character is so great and you're just having fun at regular intervals, which is important, right? Then it'll all fall into place. At least of course you have different types of players, right? But I feel like you and me are definitely aligned in the fact that if we have that one click with that one character and that one moveset and also everything around them, you know, like their visual art, their voice acting, the art that gets posted about them on Twitter. Yes, it is a factor. Chat, shut up. Then,
oh no, definitely, yeah. How you perceive a character in and out of game is like really important.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, really great to hear that you're enjoying Strive again. But yeah, you know, even if we weren't aligning our interests with fighting games, we'd still have our other stuff. Speaking of which, we haven't showed Pathfinder yet.
I was about to bring up Pathfinder. Man,
we have not shown Pathfinder.
Dude, I've been having the time of my life with Pathfinder.
I really felt bad about canceling that last session, but Jesus Christ, my head was just exploding. If you feel sick,
you feel sick. Like, obviously I was sad about it, but like, right, if I was just directional, like, no! And then like just directionless, right? Like just screaming into the void. Also, something I played Darkest Dungeon 2 the other day, right? And just for the fun of it, I put Despair and Small Brain in the tags, and I've just kept it ever since because I feel like that's just such perfect tags for my stream.
Hey, sometimes you feel a vibe that just works.
But yeah, jokes aside, like Pathfinder has been like the highlight of my week every week. It's so much fun. Like I enjoy like vibing with you, with Puff, with Viper. Like
Puff is such a great.
They're such a good fun party member. Like they I feel like they have like a really good talent for like just fitting in to the party, right? Like I feel like their character Leovara, right? She like fits into the party so well, right? Like I love how like, right, they picked a character that's like more subtly fucked up, right? You have like Alice and Katazo who are both like super in your face fucked up people.
In your face fucked up, yeah.
Yeah, right. And then there's Leovara, and she seems like a normal person, and then you realize the number one thing she wants to do right now is get like her own little blender for people.
True. Yeah, it's Pathfinder has definitely been fun. Definitely a new experience for me because, I've never done tabletop stuff. So for me, it's been definitely Also trying to, just explore the whole genre per se. I can definitely tell that Pathfinder does some really good things for, like, especially how I hear you and Puff talking mostly about, like, oh, so like in D&D, but better.
every time we compare it to D&D, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like in D&D, but it's done better.
Yeah, that's been really funny. I mean, I just gotta take your word for it at this point because I don't know, of course. But yeah, I'll definitely take your guys' word on that.
It's not that D&D 5e is bad. It's just that it has a lot of issues that you usually need to fix with homebrew. And Pathfinder so far doesn't really seem like it has like any glaring issues to it. Like, I think my only complaint is that I wish there was more lore, to the whole thing, because like it's like from 2019. They're still working on fleshing out all the parts of the world. Right?
Yeah.
And that's why like for example the Weep country, right? That's basically just in like old Japan and China and stuff, right? Right, that hasn't really fleshed out yet, so there's no like samurai archetype or what have you, right? But I'm really looking forward to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because the current campaign that we're in has like 3 chapters or something, and we're almost at the end of the first.
No, we're playing book 1 of 6. Or 5.
Book 1 or 6, yeah.
Or was it
5
books? Like 5 or
Either
6
one.
books. Like either way, it's like a whole as long thing, right? We're almost at the end of book 1. And honestly, I've been absolutely fucking loving it. Like, it's really well written, and obviously, shoutouts to Puff for like DMing it in such a great way, integrating our characters into the setting so well, and
Yeah.
Like
I said, I definitely feel like you and Big Lore, aka Leovara,
Yeah.
you've definitely having a little bit easier time adapting to the whole setting. For me, it was like I definitely needed to find my swing a little bit. I mean, I just took that one thing about the fucking Zon Kuthon, the trigger warning, self-mutilation. Basically that, but I mean, it is fun. I really enjoy also the depth of the combat encounters, right? Like the whole role playing stuff, I definitely still need to find my bearing in. But when it comes to the combat encounters, I definitely so many possibilities, right? My head was swimming whenever Puff asked, like, okay, you get to level up soon.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, or when when we have a level up coming up, and I'm like, okay, shit, I got so many options, right? What could work with what, and the sweaty min-maxer in me just goes completely apeshit with that.
Yeah.
So.
I love how much freedom you have, like how much shit you can pick from when making your character in Pathfinder. Like it's so dumb, like some shit just synergizes well, which you wouldn't think it does. Like, for example, Vampire and Wrestler just being the perfect combination for some really stupid fucking flavor shit. Like, I'm gonna end up doing Zangief's SPD, but with my fangs!
Yeah. I love that last encounter where you were basically holding this person, like by their fucking collar and just going to town on them. It was really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, the amount of interactions that you can get there is just... it can be kind of mind-boggling, like a little bit intimidating how much you can do, A lot of me, and I know I've definitely... wasted some time there for you and Big Lore, but at the start I just had to ask so many questions, like when you can like make certain rolls, or what could you do here, or and that'll come more natural when we like go a bit further. But
I think something that I love about TTRPGs is that like there is not really like anything that just says you can do these things. It's more like you can do whatever the fuck you want, and here's how the system like would respond to it, right? Like,
Yeah.
you want to try and just cave the wall in instead of just, trying to solve the puzzle. Go ahead. Here's how it works.
Yeah.
And that's just something I just love. Like tabletop RPGs have completely ruined RPGs for me, because just the
I can see
freedom
that.
for
I can see
roleplay,
that.
for character customization, the endless options of like what you can and can't do. Like, you can really just become your character and do exactly as they would, right? And the setting and the world molds around you as a result, and that's just something you can't replicate in a video game at the moment, at least, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I definitely had my moments during my most recent Elden Ring run, where I was like, there's something missing here. Like, even though of course that combat is a whole game in itself, but when it came to like the RPG elements and the quote unquote building of your character, I was like, damn.
Already spoiled.
Yeah, kinda. It was kind of rough. But I look forward to exploring that more in the future.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to like when we get like into higher and higher levels, when we can get to do like more and more crazy shit. Right? Like, we're already quite powerful, right? But like,
well, I mean, we
babies.
just sent you into the front lines, and you'll just fucking smack anything into complete obliteration. Well, Big Lore is more there to like do all the checks and like the lore building, and also some good damage here and there. And I'm basically there to pick up the pieces after like you've done your thing, because I've noticed that the cleric class, because I'm limited by my by the fact that I can't use positive magic, right? Positive energy. That definitely works a bit different. I definitely had to at the first, because at the start with the cleric, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play like this holier than thou, like typical run of the mill. But immediately it was obvious that in this campaign that doesn't really work. It's basically like everything's you're like in the zombie. It's like you're playing World of Warcraft, but you're only ever in the fucking undead zone, right?
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
like zombies are like zombies are and shit are normal. And I do love this. I gotta say, I do love this campaign and the whole like how do I say this? Making the abnormal being normal, right?
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
using zombies, basically the fact that there's a whole faction in Gap just for reanimating you when you're dead, so you can work the fields, right? That shit, I don't know. I thought that was super.
It's so
fun.
cool. It's such a fucking sick setting. Like, I remember like, but this whole thing started because I had like a funny idea for like an NB vampire barbarian, right?
Yeah.
That was like my whole like thing, right? Like, I wanted, I had a character idea, and then Puff was like, so actually, I have this campaign that would like be 100% down your alley, Moss.
Yeah.
And I was like, just invite whoever you want, and I'm like, whoever I want. And I started asking around, and I feel like we formed a pretty good party. I hope things end up like lining up properly soon, that like Ricardo can actually join us.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a chore trying to get everyone to, line up their days. I have a full-time job. Puff has also a job, although Puff's been stricken by some like weird fatigue troubles, and I really hope Puff gets to resolve that soon, because that's just fucked up whenever you have a more long-term health problem. That's just super annoying, right?
Yeah, I 100% relate to that, because that's just straight up how I felt for like two whole years of my life, right? Where before like my psychosis got like treated, I just was like completely out of it. I missed like in the last 3 years, of school, I missed like half of my classes.
Yeah.
And so I completely like I completely like relate to like this kind of feeling where you're just always exhausted, you always feel like shit, you know. So I genuinely hope he gets better soon. Right, like I've been you know periodically checking up on him every time, like ever since like I got wind of this whole thing, right? Because I just hope he gets better soon. And you know I want to be a supportive friend and everything, because you know.
Definitely important.
But yeah, Pathfinder, absolutely fun, like super fucking fun. In case like you're listening and you have no fucking idea what the hell we're talking about, there's like a handy dandy playlist on my YouTube channel, where you can watch Larry all the sessions we've played. So you know.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, if you're curious at all, like it's been really fun, and I feel like it's something that's really fun to watch as well. Like,
yeah, it's definitely a time. It's definitely a time sucker, though.
It's
right?
a time thing.
Yeah,
but it's fun as fuck. So you know,
it's worth it. Yeah,
it's hella worth it. Yeah.
For now, it's definitely been worth it. So.
I remember you like, yeah, I just like I just want to try it. I'm not sure if I can, like, if I'm gonna be into it. And now like look at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put the playlist link in the chat. Hold up, I'm gonna do that. Pathfinder Bloodlords. Shut up, me.
But yeah, circling back to fighting games. Now that you've had your you know, like nice little stream for Strife, what do you think is coming in the future? Are you gonna, you know, like keep streaming Strife more regularly, or are you really gonna, you know, like?
Well, you know, for those in the know, I announced yesterday that I'm gonna be streaming every single day in October.
Yes.
And
what an achievement! That's gonna be.
Oh, that's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be something.
It's gonna be hard because like, as I said, like all my like mental health stuff makes like keeping a schedule really hard. And I wanted to challenge myself and build up like some genuine hype to my birthday stream this year around. Right, this is like a full-on selfish endeavor. I'm not gonna front about it. This is just I'm doing this for me, right? Like 100% for me. Like content creation in general. I'm doing this for me, right? I'm doing it because I love streaming, and because I need to pay rent.
Also a factor.
Also very much a factor. But yeah, right, like, and I just wanted to challenge myself in a different way than, you know, doing like long streams. I wanted to try and do like streaming consistently and see how I feel about it. I'm probably gonna cut it back to like something more like once every other day, or maybe like 3 times a week after the month, probably. But I want to try and get the practice of just consistently streaming, consistently trying and perform like well, as in like not ruin everything with my mood, you know?
I do feel like consistency has definitely been a factor too, because you know, I've been streaming, or I've attempted to stream daily for quite a while, right? I think I managed to do it for around like a month and a half, and of course, and this is also something that I'm gonna try and make sure you understand, Moss, for this challenge, right? Is don't be afraid to like call a day off when you need it, right? Don't feel like you're breaking a streak, or that you're, you know, because I definitely got into that kind of toxic streaming mentality where I was like, I have to, right? But once you go like, okay.
I definitely want to keep it. I definitely want to keep it in the I want to rather than the I have to.
Exactly.
But but
that's something you have to safeguard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to it. You know, I've got a bunch of things planned. I want to play through Metal Gear Rising. I want to play through Ratchet and Clank.
Rules of nature!
Rules of nature!
Let's fucking go. Metal Gear Rising. Oh, that's gonna be sick.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Right, I'm gonna be playing through the original Ratchet and Clank, through Banjo and Kazooie. I'm gonna be back on my FF14 bullshit.
Oh, sick.
I'm very much, and I'm probably gonna sprinkle in some Strive streams. I want to keep it like fresh and not wear myself out on individual things.
That's
right?
very good. Yeah.
Now I want to try and do something different every day, not always like do like one game all week, right? That's just not what I want to do. So depending on how fast I go with like the games I want to beat, obviously I'll be playing more games like through to completion. But I haven't like any concrete plans. I might play through Banjo-Tooie depending on how much I enjoy Banjo-Kazooie.
You're still gonna play? You're still gonna play Banjo-Kazooie too, and you've never played Banjo-Kazooie?
I've never played the original. I played through Banjo-Tooie.
Oh my god!
I played Banjo-Tooie,
really?
but never Kazooie. No, yeah.
Oh my god! Even I, the Sony fanboy for the longest time, and now proud member of the PC Master Race, has played Banjo-Kazooie, like the original when I was like little.
No,
right?
well, you see, I
have such good memories of it.
The thing is, right, like due to budgetary constraints, it was, financially more sound that we had like mostly just PlayStation 1 and 2 games. If you get what I'm hinting at, like One Piece, right? Right. So N64 games were like hella expensive back in the day, like even more so now, I guess. Right, like, and that's why like my brother who had the N64 has like 4 games for it, like Mario 64, Mario Kart 64. Pokemon Stadium 2, which is technically Stadium 3 in but in the West it's 2, because they never released the original one in the West. And Banjo-Tooie, right, the sequel. So growing up, we never actually played the original. My brother did play the original, but at a friend's house, but I never got to see it because like I wasn't friends with his friend because like I'm 4 years younger, right? But I did see like Banjo-Tooie. I did play it a bit as a kid. I never actually like fully beat it as a kid, right? But I did play it. So I'm curious to just play Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy it. I think.
I sure hope I do as well.
It's such a classic.
It is a classic.
Ikam bokam. Fuck, that's still seared into my memory. Also, the Corona clip just made it worse.
Oh my lord, yeah. I like as I said, like I mostly only like remember, like I only played Tooie, right? So most of stuff I remember about Banjo is like specifically like Tooie stuff, like the dinosaur transformation that was sick as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Right, like obviously I'm a sucker for that kind of shit. Actually, I need to restart this level. I messed up.
Yeah, this shit can be pretty challenging. The sweaty min-maxer in me is already looking at what I need to be doing. Even in Bloons. Oh god, I cannot be helped anymore.
Bloons is a very fun game though. Like it's like you can just turn off your brain, listen to some funny pops, right?
Yeah.
But there's still strategy to the game, and that's what I like. If you wanna go hard on it, you can go hard on it, or you can find just one cheap tactic that works on most maps and just keep spamming that.
Also works. But yeah, no, good to hear that, you've got your plans set out for you when it comes to content creation. Yeah. I've definitely lately been thinking about maybe branching out a little bit into other forms. But then I kind of realized, like, okay, how much time do I have? I work 5 days. I work 5 days a week. I stream 4 nights a week. And then I also on top of that, I got Pathfinder. And I would like to, like maybe if I could, maybe have some sort of social life next to that. So,
that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is if you really want to get seriously into content creation, you are sacrificing like almost all your life to it. Like just it's such a time-consuming thing to do. Like, it's rewarding and it's fun and everything, but you have to be aware that you're signing off like basically all your free time on it. And like for me, right, who can't work, whatever, right? I have so much free time, it doesn't matter, right? But like for the average person, right, that's like obviously a huge commitment that a lot of people just aren't like up for, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill set and a grind, right? I was thinking about because of course the main thing I do is clips on Twitter, and besides that, streaming. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I should try like some YouTube content or try to but the problem is I'm too niche, right? It's all going to be about Potemkin because there are other there are other aspects of Guilty Gear, of course, and fighting games that I find interesting and that I could have a chat about. But to really put in that effort to like create content about it when there's already so much competition out there, right? When it comes to FGC content creation, also FGC variety content creation, right? So not just about like one game, let alone one character, but about the whole genre.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely something that would take a lot of time investment for me to get into now. So I've kind of decided, like, you know what, the streams are going really well. I enjoy them a lot. I don't want to sacrifice on the streaming, and for me to go into for me to upgrade into any other form of content creation would take away from the streaming time, right? And I don't want that. So I kind of came to the conclusion of, okay, I'm just gonna keep this rhythm because first of all, I am actually in the luxury, unlike you, Moss. I'm actually in the luxury of not, having to do it for my income. I mean, you could call it a luxury, but I have to work 5 days a week. So that's depending on your outlook on life in general, right? Whether you wanna go for that lifestyle or not. But for me, who I'm not too dependent on the income of it. I think I should just like most of all just keep it fun, for myself. And if people want to watch that, then great. And if they don't, then no worries, right? It doesn't really hurt me in the same way that it can hurt you.
Oh no, yeah, like it's so weird because like obviously like the number one reason I do it is not because I need it to live, right? But actually because I enjoy it, right? I'm a weird person where I have like almost close to zero self-preservation instinct.
For you, the factor is also that you can't work, right? I mean,
no, yeah, I mean that that's like also like a huge thing. I feel like if I was like actually like healthy to a degree where I could work, I would probably be fine with working. But like it's right, it's something like I talked about a lot, and it's just the stress of having to show up to like a job that I don't like fully love doing alone is enough to make me suicidal to the point where I break down every night and every morning, right?
Yeah, that's not good.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Like call me a wuss or whatever, but that's just genuine like such mental anguish that I go through when trying to work like a proper job that I just rather not do it. Right? I just can't feasibly pull it off. And that's just, and that has introduced like a whole bunch of chaos into my life, right? Like I'm currently I'm not living off content creation. I don't make enough money to live off of it, right? I'm gonna be fully transparent about that, right? It's enough to make some months easier, but I mostly live off of the generosity of my family, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of. I gotta be real. I don't enjoy it, because who wants to be a financial drain on the people they love, right? Nobody. But it's literally my only option at the moment. I've been trying to get disability money, but it's just a whole process, and it's just. I rather not talk about it because it stresses me out so much, you know. But it's like
in better news, I just read today that in the Netherlands they're gonna make it, or they're in the process of almost completing that law where it makes it super easy for you to, designate your own gender on your passport and shit, and on your ID.
We're in the process of that as well.
Yeah. But you've definitely shared with me with how fucked up it is or can be in Germany too.
Yeah, the thing I really want to be overhauled is and it's called the Transsexuellengesetz, which is already like
a very German-sounding word.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically called the transsexual law, and transsexual is just a gross word we don't use anymore. Right? It was like made in the 80s. It was like super progressive at the time compared to other places, right? But it's like super outdated. It's like it like reinforces the gender binary. You can only go from one to the other, right? When there's like technically infinite options, right? And like you gotta get like you gotta pay like a huge like fee like to get the whole process started, which is already a huge red flag, right? Which means like they're trying to wall it off from people.
Yeah.
Right. Then you gotta get like a note from like 2 separate psychiatrists, right? They both gotta agree that you have gender dysphoria, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to abolish right now in the Netherlands. That you don't have to like go through this whole process of talking to shrinks and
they did say that they're in the works of doing that, but they haven't told us any concrete plans. But I'm glad to hear it's not just Germany that are considering on actually, stepping into the 2nd century.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Before Christianity destroyed gender norms for all of the West, the non-binary view of gender was the default. Most cultures had more than 2 genders, and people of those genders were revered as priests and everything. They were seen as messengers from the gods. Like, nah, fam. We weren't like burned at the stake. We were worshipped, bitch.
Need to get back to that.
Not necessarily back to worship.
Not through the religion.
Equality would be nice.
Not.
Equality would be nice.
Not through religion, please.
But it's just it is a whole ass thing, and I'm glad that we're finally making some progress on that front. I just want to be able to roll up like, hey, I've been out publicly for like over a year. Can I like finally get can I finally get the funny pills that'll make me feel better in my body?
I mean, you gotta love that within our own hobbies, right? Within fighting games, they're doing a lot to, make the discussion more, or like to try and how do I say this? Incentivize discussion about gender equality, with and also Testament, Bridget. A lot of people expose themselves for this within this whole Bridget discussion, on Twitter, and amazing that Daisuke actually just went out and said it, right? He just basically silenced everyone about, Bridget being her.
He really just went, silence, turf!
Yeah, only the problem is that you'll still have people trying to make up reasons, right? That's
they always do that.
Yeah, they always do.
People stupid. But yeah, it's I'm happy. Like it doesn't make sense considering like most subcultures are like so queer. It hurts. It hurts so much how queer they are, and I mean like in a good way. Like, baby, you're gay, right? And that's just kind of how it is. Like, so I'm happy that like we're finally recognizing the fact that like all our best players are trans.
I mean that is definitely good. Also,
current Evo champ for Guilty Gear.
Yeah, the
No,
amount of
yeah.
people, the amount of trans people that have been performing at tourneys lately was great. Bagel in chat, watching the people get banned in the Plus R Discord over the trans rights ping was funny. Yeah, the Plus R trans rights ping and the announcement for the charity event was so great. Like,
Yeah.
shout outs to Oreo Speedwagon and shout outs to Hono. You know, they're doing a really good thing right now at the Plus R Discord. Just fucking no bullshit and also just being very upfront with it, like, hey, okay, it's like this. If you wanna argue, like, get banned. Honestly, like, and
Gets
you know,
banned.
when it comes to face-to-face discussion with with someone, of course, like, enter that discussion. But when you're talking about random people in discords, like, no, you don't have the time to like
No.
talk and educate every one of them, right? Just get them out of there.
Yeah.
Make it a better environment.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about as well. Is like, I hate how the burden is always on me to prove that I'm allowed to just exist and be valid in the gender expression and gender I am, right? Like, what? Like, why do you care that I don't have a gender but still like to present feminine? Why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care about my genitals so much? Like, not even the people I sleep with care that much. Like, it's a bit weird.
I mean, for me, it's like it's pretty easy, just refer to people how they would like to be referred to. That's all they're asking of you, basically, right? You're not sharing the bed with them. You don't have to like. It doesn't have to go any deeper than that. Than a person saying, "I would like to be referred to in this way," and you respecting that. That's literally all that's being asked of you.
Like, it's so crazy to me that people think like they can just not act with basic human decency. Like, why? Like, what? I genuinely don't understand.
Well, I mean, there'll always be people, and I want to tie this into the excerpt rollback talk a little bit, because there's one thing that I'm kind of afraid for, and I think you already know. For the community blowing up and bloating to the point where there's just going to be a lot of like assholes and shit. So I hope we can like protect our good vibes in the EU extra community, because let me tell you this: even when I was looking to branch out to Plus R, I still miss the extra community, because the EU extra community is just nice people, super cozy. Everyone pretty much knows each other. And of course, now with the rollback update, there are going to be a lot of new people, and I'm always happy, right? I'm always happy to welcome new people to the community also. But when those numbers starts bloating, there are definitely going to be some less desirable people in the community, or just like trying to play, or we're gonna have walls of text with like transphobic, homophobic, whatever the fuck stuff in the Rev2 chat. But
Okay. Here's an idea, right? Considering that Exit mostly just uses player lobbies.
Kick
Right?
'em.
Hold up. Yeah, you can kick these assholes, first of all, right?
That's
But
true.
also, wouldn't it be funny if somebody wrote a mod where you can write a blacklist, and anyone that's on the blacklist that tries to join your lobby gets just automatically kicked?
And that would definitely be funny.
That would be so funny. And then everyone installs that mod, and then just any bigot gets like globally put on the blacklist. They just can't play anymore.
That would definitely be nice. Yes. But,
Go fuck yourself.
I don't think we're that far. I don't think we're that far yet. But we just gotta, do our best to keep the community a little bit clean.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, right, obviously, I don't think that's like ever gonna be really necessary, but it would be funny if that was a thing people would do. Like,
well, I mean, just reminding people, like Oreo did in the Plus R Discord, like at everyone trans rights. You always love to see that. And then you have also people, being annoyed about the ping, etc. Like, why you're being annoyed about this one thing, it's like literally one thing in your inbox. The fact that you're so annoyed by this lets me think of, another reason why you might not like that message, etc. So, but yeah, I'm sure the Xrd community will survive pretty well because, there are good people in there now. The events are going to be crazy though. Like, there are going to be a lot of events.
She'll be right. She'll be right.
Yeah. Looking forward to it though. I think late October was the test is gonna
beta,
happen. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that. Are you
no
thinking about? No, I thought so. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. Exarch's not your game.
I like it. It's so like in a way, it's really funny to me because like everything like whenever somebody counts like lists all the reasons they like Exit over Strive, that's exactly the reverse for me why I like Strive over Exit.
Yep, we've been there. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I like every time, right? Like I don't mean to shit on Exit, right? This like the game is fine, and I love the people that play it, right? It's just like whenever I think about Exit, right, there's like a whole multitude of problems I have with the game, and every time, right, like I think of like how they could be fixed, I usually just default back to, hold on, all these fixes are already in another Guilty Gear game.
Yeah.
I can just play Strive instead and not have any of those issues, right?
And that's the good thing to do then, because I kind of, what I saw on Twitter now with the Xrd rollback announcement, I just saw a lot of whack shit, about people, oh, you're gonna have to play this character in Xrd now, but you were carried in Strive, so good luck with that character, etc., etc. That's just, that's just fucked up. There's definitely one aspect. If there's one aspect of the FGC that I don't like, and that's why I refer to maybe Xrd community getting a bit bloated. It's just this whole these quote unquote trends that are happening lately. Where you're like, okay, we're all gonna call this character shit. We're all gonna call you carried, we're all gonna shit on LFL players, we're all gonna shit on Johnny players for playing their character, like same with Nago in Strive, right? And this whole culture I definitely heavily dislike when it comes to
that's like that's a fucking FGC like wide problem. I hate that too. Like obviously like I hate on Kai players, but that's just kinda in character because I'm a soul main. I have to. It's the rules. Like, I don't actually like he brand new like fucking slipping, letting the master slip. I don't give a fuck if you like Kai. Go ahead, play Kai. Like go like have fun. Like I don't get why you like Kai. I genuinely don't get the appeal, right? But if you like Kai, and that's fine. Right? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'll fight. Like, it's like, if I really truly despise the character so much, I would just mob them out of the game. Right?
Yeah.
Or just dodge them forever. But I don't do that with any character. Like, I might dislike a matchup because it's hard to play, or I just don't like playing the way it forces me to play, right? But that's, like, not the fault of the player. Right? It's not the fault of the player, that's just how the game works. And you just have to either live with it or, stop being a baby and just stop playing.
Yeah, I mean,
there's always an option.
That's why it's so awesome that Xrd is getting rollback now, because now there's literally a rollback. There's going to be a rollback Guilty Gear for every type of Guilty Gear player.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like that's so like. I don't get why there's like this whole like war, right? Like between like Guilty Gear players. Like obviously like I have my preferences, right? I personally think Strife is the best fighting game that was ever made, right? Like that's just my genuine opinion. I fucking love that game, right? I love everything about Soul in that game, and just because I love Soul so much, by proxy, Strife is what I love, right?
Yeah.
And I totally understand why others like prefer Pulsar or they prefer Exit, but I just like Strive. I don't like Pulsar, I don't like Exit, and that's fine. They're not for me. But the fact that there's like 3 very distinctly different Guilty Gear games that all are going to have great net play, right? So you can just play it, no problem, whatever, right? It's just such a cool thing. Like, name another franchise that does this. like the only other franchise that gets close would be BlazBlue, because you have BB Tag and BBCF, which are two very distinctly BlazBlue games, right?
True.
But it's just so cool to me that you get like that you just have like these three distinct takes on the franchise, right? You don't like this version of the character? Well, you're in luck. There's this other version in this one. You can try this one version of the character, and lo and behold, and then they end up liking that version, and that's just something so cool, in my opinion. Like, and I think we're truly blessed to be in the timeline where that's just an option for us, right? It's like you look at other franchises, right? Like, right, like you like Street Fighter, maybe a little bit, right? Like if you either play 5 or you play Third Strike, right?
Yeah.
And then Tekken, you're just out of luck. You're playing 7 or you're playing nothing. Right? And Soul Calibur, like, very similarly as well. And I feel like it's just so unique.
There are definitely some players who might play Strife because there are people who might play Strife because it's also the relevant game, right? I've definitely heard people say like, "Oh, the older Guilty Gears, why would I play that?" You know, there's almost no tourneys and almost no winnings in that game, right? And that's fine. And it's also a small competitive percentage of players that would prefer Strife for that reason. And of course, Strife is, I think, always going to be the biggest of the three, right? Xrd is not gonna like dethrone Strife or whatever, or like completely dry up the player base like some people have been like teasing at on Twitter, which is bullshit.
Sorry if I interrupt real quick. Do you have co-op unlocked yet?
I don't know.
Can you?
I'm on 53 out of 60 rounds right now in a normal thing. So just the first map. So I don't know when you will lock co-op.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, right, like, I think that's honestly kind of a valid way to see it as well, right? Like, if you just want to play the popular one, whatever, right? That's
fine too.
That's a valid opinion to have, really. Like, who am I to judge someone's other reasoning for picking a game, right? But if you play a game, right, specifically only because it's popular, you also kind of a little wave. You know, you also kind of agree to not complain as hard about the game, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if you only play the game because it's popular, but then all you do is bitch about it, to me that's like you still chose it, right? Like you could, like, nothing's stopping you from just playing another game. That's just something that annoys me, and you know, I don't want to drudge up like drama or whatever, right? But like something that's been bothering me so hard, right? Like I had to deal with like over like almost a whole fucking year of just constant complaints about Strife, right? It came out, it wasn't Exit 2, people got their panties in a bunch and got really mad, right? And just the constant bitching on my timeline, it just pissed me off to no end at some point, where I just started like just straight up muting anyone who would just complain about the game. I was just like done. I was just so done. I was like, I just you know like I was here like having this like trying to have this positive energy. I fucking love this game. I'm enjoying it. Like I love the new visuals. I love the new music, the new sounds. Like everything is so fucking amazing about this game. And then just like, no dust loops. I'm like, oh, okay. You know? Like, I obviously love, it's not like a dig at anyone specific, it's just like something that I felt very much, and it just was so annoying, and it was so exhausting, and I feel like it definitely kind of factored into my whole getting tired of playing Strife, because everybody just kept shitting on it for no reason.
Yeah. It can definitely affect your enjoyment.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something I wanted to bring up once on stream. I never really talked about it too much on stream because I felt like I never wanted to, like, you know, I don't like spreading negativity like that. But I felt like now is like enough time has passed and it's kind of just died down and it's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, now you also saw those couple of tweets of people going like, okay, just
Oh,
now
some
all the
asshole
extra
said.
players can shut up and
Yeah.
play the
I
game
hope
that they
they do.
wanna.
I hope you
Yeah.
fucking do. I'm sorry, like exit players, I love you, but I hope you fucking shut up about Strife. Never talk about my game ever again.
Yeah, fair. I mean, that's really fair. You know,
Right? Like, I love
it's
you.
not too much to ask or anything.
Just shut up. You got what you wanted. You can just go play exit. Shut up, play exit. Mwah.
Nah, you're right. But yeah, like I said, now we got just the perfect three-way split of of games, all with rollback. So yeah, it's gonna be great. At least I hope, because it's gonna be the same team that worked on the Plus R one, right? So
From what I heard, yeah.
that gave me really a lot of hope, because that means that it's gonna be excellent. Because Plus R is the best rollback I've ever played in my life. So
Plus R.
yeah.
No, not exit.
Plus R. Yeah, Plus R is the best rollback I've ever played in my life. It's so good. Like up until 200 ping, it's really doable.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel like in Strife, like I feel like Strife's rollback is also really, really good. I think the major issue is just when people's PCs can't run it smoothly.
Yeah.
Right. That's like obviously a problem with like newer PC games, right? And then that's just what's gonna happen. But that issue is gonna get alleviated over time as people slowly upgrade their hardware anyway.
What level do you need to be for co-op?
I don't know. Can you try pressing like play social? Yeah.
Unlock at level 20. I'm level 18.
Oh, you're almost there then. Lol.
Okay, let me do an easy run then. Is that less? Oh, it's 40. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I don't know if I'll unlock co-op in time for this, for this session, but we'll get there.
We'll see. But
outside of fighting games and content creation, what else do we? Was there any other topic you would like to you wanted to? Put forward?
Yeah, there's like right. Obviously, like I think something that I found really, really fascinating is how I wanted to commend you for your growth as a content creator. Really, like. Right, like I'm gonna be honest and upfront, right? Full transparency. I'm a jealous person by nature, right? I'm a very jealous person. I don't like that about myself, but that's just how I instinctively feel about a lot of stuff, right? It's not because I feel entitled to somebody else's success. It's just like, man, I wish I was successful too, right? And man, I got all green, watching you fucking blow up. But so deserved, like for real. Like your streams have such a great vibe. Like right, like I say this a lot, right? And I feel like it's true that a lot of like bigger streamers have like the most milquetoast personality. Right? They're just not interesting to me personally. I think they're just boring people usually. But you put out such a nice, wholesome vibe when you play. And you get like so genuinely excited about like Potemkin and everything. Like, man, just it's been great watching you grow. Watching people in your chat hang out, like develop like a genuine like sense of community. It's
God, I don't deserve, like, I honestly don't deserve these wonderful people in my chat. Like some of these regulars who have been supporting me for such a long time.
I see some of them here in my chat right now.
Yeah, Berserker and Mike, and it's great. Oh, Mike, you love balloons? Well, that's good news, because I'm addicted now. So this is gonna be my new Steam game. So,
Let's go! Leapfrog Patro _ pop Pop Joe.
Pop Joe, yeah. I appreciate it a lot. I do. I've put in a lot of work lately, and like I said, I've never done it for the money or anything, right?
No,
I know. That's for me. That's kind of negligible, because, like I said, I have that luxury. I can just I can work normally, but just the things that makes it most worth it for me is whenever I hear someone in chat, either getting into Plus R Potemkin or getting into Plus R in general. People like DMing me like, oh, thank you so much for like consistently streaming this. Now I really got the knack for Plus R again, and I'm playing it again. That's been the goal. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's been the goal first and foremost, because the first time I wanted or had the idea of streaming and wanted to stream was when I was playing Xrd, right? Back in the day before the Plus R rollback update. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like the reasons then for wanting to wanting to stream definitely differed a little bit. Like, first of all, I wanted to, like, this was still like old me trying to start out with fighting games and content creation. I definitely wanted to beat my chest, right? I wanted to people to see, that I was a good Potemkin. I'm the second best Potemkin in the EU, trademark. And I want people to see this. I want people to that this great play of mine is going wasted not being streamed, right? That was generally like keeping it 100, right? That was definitely one of the side reasons for wanting to start with content creation, right? But that being not one of the right reasons will always rear its head, right? With that you're because if you follow that mindset, then I for the longest time I had the feeling that people were just watching my streams or like following my content on Twitter for how I played Potemkin and the fact that I was fairly decent at it, right? I was kind of still full on in that whole meritocracy mindset. And now, also after hearing you say that, thank you again, Moss, that was really sweet. After hearing you and different people say that, like, oh no, I just like to, like hang out in the chat, just vibe. That really helped relieve some pressure off me, like performance-wise, right? That I don't always have to be at my best and always have to sweat and can just relax from time to time. Although the inner sweat in me definitely does emerge from time to time. You just can't prevent that. But there's definitely some turning point where I realized, like, okay, maybe people won't like immediately drop me and never come back to me if I have like an off day, or or maybe one day I'm in a little bit less good of a mood or whatever, right? And yeah, once that switch was flipped, streaming fighting games definitely became a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. So yeah, shout out to all my regulars, to everyone. First of all, everyone in the Xrd community, because that was just the whole catalyst. Like, let me tell you, I come from the trenches. Okay, I came from PS4. I came from PS4 Xrd. Now let me tell you about PS4 Xrd. You have the innate delay plus the actual delay from delay-based gaming, and it was a ghost town, right? You're fighting the same 10 people over and over. But I was just too damn stubborn to drop the game. I was like, fuck, man, this is such a fucked up position. I love Potemkin, and I love this game, but it's just not getting the attention it deserves, right? Not from players, not from people watching the stream, etc., etc. And now, after all this time, Xrd getting rollback, it's really, it's like unreal. I still can't believe it to some extent. I'm really looking forward to how it'll, blow up the community a little bit. Also a bit apprehensive, like I said before, but for me as a player and as a quote-unquote content creator, because I don't always see myself as that still, I just feel like I'm a player who sometimes, like streams and sometimes clips some stuff, but keeping people entertained in chat and on stream is definitely a skill in itself, right? That I've been trying to develop a little bit, but I'm just so grateful for the opportunities given and the opportunity that I'm receiving right now with Xrd getting rollback, right? Because that, for me, will be the difference between streaming a game reliably or not. Because that's the problem. That was the problem with Xrd. Like, you always had to go into Discord in between, and then you had to wait, and then hopefully someone will pop up. It's definitely way better once you have like a little bit of a bigger player count that you can just, like hop into an open room and go, right?
Oh yeah, I remember streaming Exit. It was hell. Just sitting
Yeah.
there waiting for somebody to show up, and then I just get absolutely fucking smacked because they have like fucking 3 years in the game, and I'm just like 2 weeks in, you know, and I learned like basically nothing from it. It's just like wow, yeah, I sure love doing this with my time, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, and I gotta tell you, if I didn't have that stubbornness at the start, in the PS4 times, then I probably would have dropped the game like there and then.
Oh no, like for real, like full transparency. If it wasn't for me being excited for Strife coming out, I would have never touched Exit again.
Yeah. Fair.
Like and now that Strife is out, I have no reason to touch Exit ever again. So I'm just not gonna, right? It's just, the circle of life.
Yeah, totally fair. Sable, delay can no longer shackle you. Yeah, we'll see about that. Sable, when we play tonight. Nah, I'm kidding.
No, yeah. Also, something I find really really interesting is sorry, I'm kind of losing track. No, Ford, come back to me. Right, like yeah. Speaking of like Exit finally getting its time in the sun, right? I feel like it really started picking up like after that Strife announcement. People really started to flock into Exit a lot after that.
Yeah,
right?
there
was
a slight
right?
revival. Yeah, there was
right?
a little revival before Strife. True.
Yeah, and like a lot of people stuck around, or a lot of people just straight up stuck around, or they might just come back now with rollback coming back, right? And obviously new people, right? Like we just got like Strife is bigger than it ever was, right? Like it's like huge, right? Like it sold over 1 million copies, right? Like it absolutely dwarfs anything else Axis has ever done like themselves that wasn't like Dragon Ball, right? And obviously, right? Like I think they did it at the Strife finals, right? Where they revealed the Exit rollback, right? And then suddenly, right? Like you have all these Strife babies, and like. What? Exit?
Yeah.
and then more people will come in, right? Like, and it's just something so beautiful where like but again, I feel like it really speaks more to that we're one big Guilty Gear family. We're not like individual like communities that fight each other. We're 3 individual communities that support and love each other.
That's
right?
definitely the narrative that I've been trying to put out there for a while. Right?
That's the one I really want to stick.
Yeah.
That I want the like everyone like we're all Guilty Gear players, right? We might play all our different games, right? And you might have opinions about the individual games, but we all love Guilty Gear, right?
True.
Like at the core, each one of the 3 games is still Guilty Gear, right? They're
Yeah,
all
that's
vastly different from each other.
Yeah, that's definitely the part of the Excerpt crowd that I also don't like. Who will straight up go out of their way to like call Strife not Guilty Gear or whatever. I would definitely like for people who play the different games to, just like get along. I have no second thoughts. Like if I'm streaming and and there's no one I know that's playing like Plus R or Excerpt, and there's someone I know playing Strife or whatever, I will definitely just like. Rate them, and I also still watch tourneys from time to time. I definitely still support my Potemkin brothers in Strife, but also because from what I understand they're having a pretty hard time in the current patch.
It's funny because like right, my perspective is obviously tainted because I play Soul, right, and the current patch made the Potemkin matchups like so much harder for Soul.
Oh dang.
So to me it feels like Potemkin is stronger than he has ever been, but apparently he's struggling.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, I don't understand. Like all my shit drops because of the 5k changes, and he's heavy. Like, alright, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's only from hearsay, of course, because I don't really know myself what's been happening there. But yeah, I just support people from the other Guilty Gears too, and yeah, like you said, that's one thing that I've really also struggled with at the start, but to within the streams, right, to try and create an environment where people can just, chill and don't have to worry about, like I said, this other side of the FGC, people calling games trash, characters trash, calling you carried, like this whole like quote unquote new school FGC behavior, right? That I don't really care for. I've really tried to create an environment, and I still do, where people can just enjoy the stream without getting into discussions with other people or whatever. Of course, healthy discussion is always welcomed, right? But the moment that becomes a little bit less healthy, then just shut up, right? Get timed out, get banned, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, like for real, right? Like I remember very vividly, right? Like it's funny because like
just a sec.
Yeah?
Is Potemkin eating good in Strive, Cosmo? If it is, and I'm talking shit, then please correct me on that. But
I don't know. I've seen people say he's hard on this patch. I don't know. Like I feel he's stronger than ever.
Yeah, please educate us if needed. But sorry, Moss, I interrupted you.
Right, like it's something interesting, right? Like it's like, I feel like a lot of the complaints that are actually valid, like about like the lobby system and not having certain features that are like really good and are in other Guilty Gear games, right? Like instant kills and replay takeover.
Oh, replay takeover,
right?
Please.
Like I completely agree. Replay takeover should be in Strive. It should have been in Strive on launch, right? Like obviously, no, yeah, it looks fantastic, right? I haven't gotten to use it because like. I don't like plus R, but right? I love the idea of the feature, and I really, really want it in Stripe. Literally every single survey, I just go, please, replay takeover. Every single survey. Right? And also something I really, really enjoy, right? Like, and I feel like a lot of the complaints with the lobby, right, like, have also been exacerbated by the fact that the server, that like, Stripe had server issues since the launch, right? And I'm actually impressed, like, not impressed, but I'm happy that they're actually continually working on it. Like, remember, like, when the game came out, like, it was so hard to just find a station that would work.
Yeah, oh
right?
God.
That is, like, way rarer. Like, now, like, most times when you're going to play against someone, it's just gonna work, right? It's not, like, as instant as, like, plus R, like, quick match, but at least
no, but it
works, right? You can just hop in the tower and you can just play against people, right? So it's an improvement. I still, like, from the beginning, here's the funny thing, right? Like, I'm a tower apologist because I feel like it's not, like, horrible. I just think there are better solutions, right? But I said from the get-go that I want just some really fast matchmaking like KI has, where you just get dropped into a match really fast, over, like in multiverses, whatever. You just press play, boom, you get into a match, right?
Yeah.
And that's ranked, right? And then I want like a really snappy, quick lobby system that's literally just a menu where you just quickly can challenge people, or like make a private room so you can play with your friends. That's all I wanted. That's what I said. That's how I want the net play to work. We got another stupid, over-elaborate Arxis lobby shenanigans, right? But from the get-go, I basically asked them to give us plus our net play. You know? So I'm putting on your side. Like, it should be easy and snappy to get matches and whatever, right? I'm a person that likes to take the time between matches because I need to calm down and whatnot, right? Because I'm a very emotional little gremlin. But like, right? I recognize how important it is to just be able to, right? To just be able to just conveniently get quick matches and what have you, right? Like,
yeah.
If you like, I feel like the litmus test at this point is like, if you boot up the fighting game, is there just a big play button, and if you click it, you're just gonna wait a few seconds, like half a minute tops, and then boom, you're in a match, right? Like for the average person, obviously, if you're in a high elo, you're gonna have to wait longer. That's just how it works, right? But for the average person, they should find matches quick and easy, and it shouldn't be much pressure. You just hop in, you pick your character, you play, right?
Yeah, ideally. That does require quite a healthy player base, though.
Which, thankfully, Strive has.
Yeah, Strife has that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, true. Navigating these multiple menus to like either parks or like or the towers, etc. That's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing that I could say about Strife that is legitimately like quote unquote bad, it has nothing to do with the gameplay, but it's still like the lobby infrastructure and the whole dual station annoyance stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, thankfully they've like said over and over that they are working on it, and they have been working on it. So credit where
Yeah,
credit
no,
is
that's
due,
definitely good.
right? Like it's been getting continually better, and I can't really complain about that. It's been slower than I would have liked it to be, but I feel like a lot of it had to do with chip shortages and all this bullshit that has been happening recently, right? Like I feel like Strive was like kind of a creation of circumstance, right? Like, but remember, the game got a release unfinished after being delayed because COVID just hit everything out of nowhere, right? And it hit like everything that came out in like 2020, 2021, 2022, like early 2022. Like you can feel the impact of COVID on the development.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of companies had to like really restructure their stuff.
Oh, it's for sure a factor.
So I'm definitely willing to cut them some slack in that department, but still, it should have been functional from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
It should have just been simple, easy net play that goes fast, and
I think that's the one area of Strife right now where there's the most to gain for them. Right?
yeah, definitely.
Besides just putting out like more characters and shit. By the way, given that fact, I want you to think long and hard about what the next two characters are going to be added to Strife, and I will be right back and grab a drink real quick.
All right.
Give me a minute.
I will ponder it. Oh my lord. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening in, for being here, vibing. Right, this is the first episode. Like, assets for the whole thing are still in production. I hope to up the actual vibe and everything for the future. So like future episodes are gonna have a different look than this. So do bear with me. But yeah, we're gonna do weekly episodes for now. I don't know how long that's gonna be. I'm gonna run out of content creator friends at some point, so I'm gonna have to ask strangers at some point.
I'm back. That was funny.
Welcome back. But
so,
yeah.
Who do you think?
Who do I think is gonna happen, or do I want to happen?
Both. Who do you think two characters, and then who do you want two characters?
Okay, if I'm gonna say who I think, it's gonna be Johnny and Slayer.
Solid. Yeah.
Right. If I'm gonna pick who I want, like the characters, like if I do we include guest characters or only returning characters?
All like any all. Like
any all. All right.
Care.
Then
I don't care if it's
want
like Gabriel.
I want
like
Slayer,
Gabriel.
and I want Nero from Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, like actual guest characters.
Yeah, I actually want a guest character. I want specifically Nero from DMC5 because I think he would translate really well into Strife. Like MBC3 already proved that DMC characters like translate into fighting games.
And who else? Slayer.
Yeah, Slayer. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It's that's just purely because he animates so fucking well.
My vote was on Slayer as well, like for sure. Slayer's gonna come soon, I feel.
Because right, like I think like right, like in my opinion, like especially in the older games, right, I feel like before Exit, like Guilty Gear had like a lot of really awkward animation here and there. And like at the beginning of Exit, like it really upped the game of like Arx's animation in general.
Yeah.
And so I think like and Slayer has always been like a bright spot, like when it comes to character animation and everything. Like he always.
I really don't understand. Yeah, I don't know how it's been so long.
Right,
for
like
Slayer. I was really stumped that Slayer wasn't in the base roster.
It's probably because Nago, and they didn't want to like put another vampire right away. I feel like that's also why Ram is the only Valentine. Was the only Valentine on launch. And Jacko right now, like, distanced from it, right?
Do you think Elpelt is gonna get it added at all to Strife?
Oh, and inevitably.
Yeah. Fair.
From what they said, right? Like they did say that if a game stays popular enough for enough waves of DLC, right? That if people buy them enough, keep buying them, right? They said they want to put everyone back.
Well, the Bridget one has been a huge success, of course.
Oh, and Bridget, Testament have been like huge successes. Jacko, right? Like Gold Lewis not so much, but I feel like Happy Chaos as well has been really popular, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we're definitely on a great way ahead.
I feel like Gold Lewis is getting more support now because of the supportive parent of a trans child vibes in the story, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, that like I was indifferent towards him. Now I love him.
Yep. Yep. I knew it. Yeah, the art and shit that came on Twitter was great, you know, as like Gold Lewis the support of that. That shit was so funny.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just I personally feel like Strife is on a very, very healthy way, popularity wise. It hasn't been faltering at all. It's been relevant. You know, it had like over 2,000 players at Evo. It's, you know, I feel like we have a bright future ahead of us for Guilty Gear as a whole.
Yes, I'm really wondering because, of course, like online tourneys for Extra are gonna pop off, right? Like immediately after the rollback update, it's gonna be like weekly tournaments, multiple like Salty EU, Salt might probably pick it up. We have like the old Extra people, you know, like fucking Squid
Games,
Squid Games, like QK, whoever the fuck, right? It's gonna be a lot of tournaments, also probably a lot of new TOs. But I really wonder how this is going to affect the offline tournament, you know, like relevance of Excerpt. Because Excerpt was, I think, just about at the end, right? And oh my god, do I feel blessed. I'm looking at my badge right now, it's still hanging here. Was I blessed that I was able to attend Brussels Challenge? Because I felt like that would have been the last one of the last offline appearances of Excerpt, right? In Europe at least. But now, with the rollback update, it's gonna get a whole new relevancy to it. So I wonder if it's also gonna extend the offline shelf life of Excerpt. I really hope so.
Oh, probably. Like, if I learn anything, it's like, if there's online demand, it increases the offline demand.
Well, yeah, you think that, but the problem is that the Plus R tournament scene is still pretty small in EU.
I mean, Plus Rs in general is still really small in general.
Yeah, because I think Excerpt is gonna have more success than Plus
no, yeah,
R,
definitely.
for a multitude of reasons. One is, you know, like the not having such strict execution, which translates in multiple ways, like, you know, actually having an input buffer, you know, stuff like that, and also visually, it's just way more appealing, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I know you all love that game, but I think Plus R is ugly. I just think it's not very visually appealing. There's some characters that look really nice, but most of the cast just looks kind of...
I feel like the art and shit of the, you know, like, what I do like about Plus R a lot is that it never takes you out of control, right? Whether it's with, let's take Plus R Potemkin, right? None of the RCs have slowdown, and all of the supers... and also for other characters, keep the normal frame, right? They don't like switch the camera around or whatever. And I think that's very cool. Like, it never really takes the control away from you. Now, Excerpt, definitely, you know, with the RC slowdown and, of course, the cinematic supers. The cinematic supers are cool, and I definitely still appreciate them. However, if you're really gonna grind Excerpt, it can be a little bit tiring looking at Heavenly Potemkin Buster for the 60th or, like, 600th time, right? Now, me being the Potemkin enjoyer that I am, I will never get sick of it, right? I will fucking pop up every time I hit Heavenly, but you know, for other people it can definitely be a little bit annoying, and I get that. So I definitely commend Plus R for never taking control away from the player. But XR just has that extra visual flair to it, right? With you see it in the intros, you see it in the supers, you know, these nice angles. They were really, you could tell they were really flexing for the first time that they had a 3D but 2D game, right? And they really wanted to shove it in your face that it's actually 3D, but it just made it look 2D with clever animation tricks.
Yeah, I feel like they really went like insane on Strive with the animation. Like holy, like everything has like secondary and tertiary animation. Do you know how much fucking work that is? Like a single Potemkin 2H has like more work in it than a whole Exit Super. It's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've definitely warmed up a bit to Strive's style of animation when Bridget dropped, because like Bridget's animations are so good, both in game but also like the intro outro. It's so flowing, and you can definitely tell that with Strive, right? The later and DLC characters, and the same happened with Xrd, by the way. That the later characters have the better looking shit.
Oh, right? No, yeah, generally. Because they get like more direct focus. Like
yeah, I mean, look at the Xrd IKs for a lot of the vanilla cast, and look at the ones for like Baiken and Answer and Coom. You know, like it's all just a step up. You'll have to see it. So yeah, I've definitely warmed up to Strive's animation style a little bit with Bridget. Although I gotta say, I do still really appreciate just these like hard, clean lines, you know, that Xrd has. And yeah, in terms of Plus R and visual style, that's just a style that you gotta like, you know, like the sprite art. I definitely like a lot of characters visually in Plus R, like. Two characters that I would say that Plus R has my favorite version, it's Baiken and Milia, right? I just like Baiken having a more of a like simple, cleaner look, a bit more like Vagrant traveling samurai, you know? In comparison, I feel like Xrd and Strive Baiken makes her look like she spends more time in front of the mirror than she would realistically, right? That's just like my weird headcanon thing with Baiken, right? She doesn't care.
Yeah, my major issue with Strive Baiken is that she looks like Exit Baiken.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, didn't differentiate enough. You're right.
I think they should have gone crazy with the redesign.
I mean, they might have well gone a bit crazier with it. I do agree.
I think they should have cut her hair.
Yeah.
Like unironically, I know people love the big poofy ponytail, but I think
I don't really like the poof. That's why I like Plus R.
But I think it would have been nice to have her cut her hair to like a short haircut, because like her whole deal and story in Strive is that she finally gives up on revenge, and I feel like a big visual change would have gone a long way of really nice sleep.
And also, isn't there some context here, like some historical context with you know, like samurai removing their knotted hair, right? I think there's some context there.
Yeah. You can draw parallels to that as well. Yeah, it's so I feel like that would have been like really nice if they had gone with that. But you know, I mean, you know, the exit design, you know, it's popular, and I get why they wouldn't dare touch it, because it's a moneymaker, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Venom better show up as a baker.
Yeah. We also need Venom. God, the amount of Venom Baker / Robokai art on Twitter.
I want his intro to be him very gently setting down Robokai's head.
Nah, they're not gonna do that.
They will.
They don't play into it. They don't play into that meme.
No, they will. They 100% will. Strive is already so like overtly gay. They're gonna do it. I
mean, Guilty Gear in itself is
it's always been super gay, but like now it's the text instead of the subtext.
Yeah,
right.
Fair. I do. Yeah, no, you're right. Okay.
So I feel like they should do it. Like they should have like a cute little thing with him and Robokai, even if it's just the wind pose.
But yeah, in that regard, when I was saying like I like Plus R Baiken style more than the other Baikens, that isn't because it's sprite art, right? That's just because it's
No,
more design. And
yeah,
same goes for
yeah, like
Milia.
yeah, like my problem with Plus R isn't that it's sprite art. I love sprite
Well,
art.
for you, it's been the readability and visibility, right?
Yeah, I just hate how it looks. You know, just overall, I just hate how it comes together. But yeah, like, no, I totally get like, for example, I'm currently trying to think of a character design I prefer from Plus R. I think not Judgment, Justice. I really like Plus R Justice, design-wise, and while I still like Exit and Strive Justice, I kind of prefer the more Gundam-looking Plus R Justice. I don't know why. I don't even like the Gundam style. I just really like how it works on Justice.
Sometimes you just prefer a certain, like, I can't tell you why I prefer Plus R Milia over the other ones, besides the fact that I just like her without a hat on and a more simple, like the more simple clothing that she's wearing, and also the way she ties her hair. I don't know. I just, I prefer it. It doesn't have to have any, like, well-built arguments for it, right?
Sometimes that's fair. That's fair. I guess.
Sometimes you just prefer a certain design. That's in regards to that, I do think a Strife Potemkin. I do love the whole like coat style around this upper chest. Like the more like formal soldier-looking style with that. I do think the proportions are a bit off though, and you'll have people from Strife coming into my stream and say like, "Whoa, Potemkin looks super small," right? But for me, that's normal, right? And in Strife, he just takes up. It's not that he takes up so much of the screen, because that would have always been like that. That's just because they made the screen smaller, less air above the character, so to speak. But yeah, they should have made his head a little bit bigger, I feel. But besides that, I do really... I like the Strife Potemkin redesign. I do not like the Strife Potemkin proportions,
Yeah, I don't know. I it's my favorite version of Potemkin, I'll be real. I love the way he looks in Strife. And I just love how he just feels like this huge wall when you fight him. Like, right? Like, it's like as somebody who, like, doesn't play him themselves, but like I only ever play against him, right? And I just love the way it feels like when he like hammer falls at you, right? It's just feels like it feels appropriate, right? Like just feel like and I feel like he in the result, like I prefer how like weighty and massive he feels in comparison to like Exit and Plus R, where he just kind of feels like a just a bigger pixie. Right? Like that's just something I have a issue with in general with like the older Guilty Gear play games, like, or rather like I get why it is like it is, right? Like the higher mobility of the games, right? Makes sense, right? But like I like that about Strive, that like each character like really feels like appropriately weighted in their movement and everything. That's just something
definitely made Potemkin feel super heavy and weighty in that game.
Yeah, right. Like, and that's just something that I personally really like about it. Just really like furthers my enjoyment of the game, right? Like a character that feels like they're heavy actually does feel heavy, right? Yeah. And that's just something I really, really appreciate. Like how like the big impacts and everything, and just I just love the way Strive turned out visually and everything. And I totally get when people just want it to be like really, really fast and snappy. I just love the spectacle. I fucking adore the spectacle. Yeah. Like I see that huge ass 5H counter hit and I come,
By the way, Mike asked in chat favorite line across Guilty Gear. Ooh, that's a tough question. For me, it would probably be the "You Should Fully Commit" intro for Potemkin in Exort, or just like the Exort when he hits the Potemkin Buster and he either goes Owarida or the like 47th super special secret technique. That whole line, I definitely love that one. Do you have any favorite voice line?
Yes, actually, and it's from the Strive story mode. It's specifically during the climax where Soul reaches into Ino to save Jacko, and she's like, "Why the fuck do you try to save me?" Blah blah blah. Right? Like, and I can't bring Arya back. She refuses and everything. And he just goes, it's you, right? Like just that, like it's you who I want to save, right? Like that, like in the context of the situation, like and that just like it's just such a beautiful thing, you know? It's just so fucking like hot.
Romantic.
It's romantic as fuck as well.
I had to throw the plus R romantic in there. Sorry.
But in general, I just absolutely like adore like the way that like emotionally wraps up like this whole like arc between like Soul and Jacko. It's just really nicely done. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I've never really like I enjoy the Guilty Gear lore. However, the story modes in the actual stories, I've never really liked that much. Take one guess why. Take one guess
because
what character has been...
irrelevant.
Yes, thank you. Take one guess which character has been woefully, you know, like underrepresented in the stories, in the story modes of Guilty
I mean,
Gear.
you know, they're all about Soul, so...
Yeah. I mean, he is the protagonist, but still, they could have shown him a bit more love, come on.
He's their Soul's ass in Strive.
I mean, that's it.
That's basically it, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
No, yeah,
But,
I mean...
yeah, the story modes themselves, I've never really gone too deep into. I do love, you know, like, the deeper lore. Like, I think Guilty Gear has some super interesting... overarching lore once you start looking into it, and also just the character lore. You know, I just love that Potemkin needs a special pencil made for him because his immense, you know, like physical strength would snap any pencil, even if you would try to hold it quote unquote normally. You know, that's why Johnny steals Potemkin's pencils in Exort with the super, right? Just little details like that. I really like.
Yeah, I think my number one favorite thing, what I love like is like all these like dumbass details they include into the lore of characters, right? Just like, for example, like I didn't need to know that Testament loves watching B movies about sharks in their free time, but I appreciate knowing it.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That, like, it's like if you read
basically.
Testament's bio reads like a stereotypical assessment of the average non-binary person. It's funny as fuck.
They did their research.
They truly did. Like somebody said like, oh, Testament's bio read like he asked into the room, what do non-binary people like, and he just wrote down everything people said.
Oh yeah, Bagel. I do remember that part of the GG story. Bagel just said favorite part of the GG story is Robokai and Venom versus Batman, where Robokai just basically sits and calls Batman a piss baby while he can't read Robokai's mind.
I found the Robokai annoying, but when he was the reason Batman died, I started loving him because I fucking despise Batman. Like, I hate him as a character. I hate him in gameplay wise. I hate his lore. I hate the way he looks. I think there's nothing good about him, and I think he shouldn't be in this franchise. Bye.
Damn.
Bye.
I do like. Yeah. I do like Batman, but mostly because he's pretty rare to fight against. But whenever I get to fight him in Exort, it's like against some pretty strong players, right? I was fighting Plasma Wisp, also known as Tubei, yesterday on stream, and yeah, it's a super weird matchup. But I mean, it's just such a weird and kooky character, you know. I just love. I just tweeted out earlier actually that. We should all try and suppress this like stupid stereotype of every Guilty Gear player hates every other character, right? I'm regularly gushing about what other characters do in my Plus R and Extra streams, right? Or how cool they are, or how awesome their design is, etc., etc. I mean, the uniqueness of the characters is something so inherently Guilty Gear, right? Not only unique in moveset, but also in personality and visuals, that I think is, yeah, you know, it's something to be celebrated, not something to be like,
everyone plays their own game, definitely. And that's something I do love about the franchise. But here's my point: I just hate Batman specifically.
I mean, it's fair. You can still like hate. You can still like hate. I
just think he generally, as a character, subtracts from the from the game rather than adding to it. Personally, that's just my opinion, right?
Yeah, no, you can still like hate a character, but it's more like people who call people who play a certain character, like XX, like trash, carried, blah blah blah, stuff like that.
Like no, it's like I'm not gonna hate on Batman players. I just hate the character. Right.
Yeah,
when
you're talking, exactly, and that's one thing that a lot of people either don't separate or don't bother to, but when you're talking, I always know you're talking about like a story aesthetically,
I have very strong opinions about a lot of things. Like it's, I feel I come off more combative and passionate about this than I actually am, because of the way I tend to put things. But like, if I say I hate your character, that just means I just don't like them, and I would prefer them to be changed. That's just how I view it. Like, but like it's important that everybody gets a character that they love and can latch on to, right?
Yeah,
as long as it's not Jam.
I look forward to people struggling, or like playing the different characters in Excerpt now and trying to find one for them. I definitely want to try and be a little bit of a guiding hand for new Excerpt Potemkin players if I can, because that's why I've started this whole quote-unquote content creation thing, is just to get people into the game, and especially other Potemkin players, to help them. So I definitely look forward to maybe having people come into my stream, ask questions, or DM me. My DMs are always open, if you want to ask me something. I really don't mind helping. By the way, shout out to Proxicon, the Guilty Gear YouTuber that I've recently been finding in my chat more and more. Really nice guy. Please go follow Proxicon on YouTube. He makes some excellent content, and he's a really nice guy. Sorry, had to show real quick. But
here's my quick guide on playing Soul and Exit. Have fun. If you want to learn the matchup against Jam, don't. There's nothing of worth to be gained in the matchup against Jam. Just dodge him. Just dodge them categorically. You're gonna have to fight a Jam. Forfeit. In tournament, forfeit. It's not worth it. Loser's bracket is more fun.
I'm actually looking forward to playing more characters that maybe weren't as represented, because this was a problem with Excerpt and up until the rollback update, right? Some characters you just never saw, and when you saw them, you only saw them of a certain skill level. Like you'd only see, like of one character you'd only have like newer players, and for other characters you'd only have basically experts, right? And no players in between to really learn off while playing.
Like I'm obviously like exaggerating, but like I genuinely do hope Jam never gets added to Strife. I hate her so much. I hate that matchup so much. I think
you're gonna have but what the matchup can be entirely different.
If they put her in Strife, she needs to lose 9-1 against Soul.
But as
payback,
you know that when they're gonna put her in Strife, they're gonna
be worse. Yeah, I know.
I mean, no, not worse. They're just gonna heavily change her moveset, and maybe in a way that it'll be advantageous in the Soul matchup or not.
Like as I said, like I'm just kidding, right? But I for real, like there's just something about Exit Jam that just made me so upset. I fought against I think the problem is that like the Jam matchup forces you to play Soul in Exert in such a specific way that there's just no fun to be had. It's just like no fun. It's just no fun at all. I'd rather just not play the game than play against the Jam in Exit. That's just how much I dislike that matchup. It's not even the voice. It's just how I'm forced to play against her if I want to like have any chance of winning, and that's just not fun to me. That just that ruins the whole matchup to a degree where I just dodge. I'm like at the end of like towards the end of like when I played Exit, I would just not play against Jam because I knew I wasn't gonna have fun. and there's more important to me to have fun than get good.
I mean, you definitely gotta tailor your own enjoyment,
Yeah.
in fighting games sometimes. For me, I gotta say, I have pretty thick skin when it comes to dealing with certain characters over and over. There's only one exception that I make, and that's Plus R Justice. If I as Potemkin run into Plus R Justice, there is a good chance that after maybe like 2 or 3 sets of 2, I'll just go like, okay, GG's, moving on, right?
Yeah,
That's just me. That's just me safeguarding my own enjoyment. Like,
No, yeah.
I'll never outright dodge someone. That's the yeah, I don't know. It doesn't go that far for me. But only when it comes to Plus R Justice will I purposefully like shorten the set to safeguard my own enjoyment.
No,
For any
yeah,
other
yeah,
matchup,
just-
it's all fair game.
Like I'm just like that's just like that's just how far it went for me. So that's how little I enjoyed fighting Jam and Exit. I hope
Mike,
that I hope that when inevitably she shows up in Stripe, I know she's gonna show up sooner or later, right? I just hope it's like not as unenjoyable to me as it is in Exit, because I don't want to dodge another the character again, you know. I hope it's definitely a more fun matchup in Strive. I don't know, it's just something like that I never had before in a different game, right? Like it's like specifically only Exit Jam that gets me like so annoyed, right? Where I just can't enjoy the game anymore. Like I've never had that in Tekken.
Tonight.
Tekken is like designed to make every character like unbearably annoying. Right? That's like the design philosophy behind Tekken.
How long have you not played Tekken now?
Ages, like years, like a whole year or two.
Yeah, because Tekken was your main FGC thing.
That's
right,
how I
for a
got
long
into.
time.
That's like how I like really got into the FGC proper. I started with like NRS games, but it was more like a casual dabble, and then Tekken 7 really pulled me in. That's when I started going to locals and all that. You know. And man, I swear to God, I Tekken 7 made me feel some emotions.
Yeah, for me, I would have definitely loved to get into Tekken, and I also gave it an honest try like a couple months back. But the online experience is just so trash that I didn't want to bother. Like people who won and done, like in ranked. Ranked should always be forced first to 2, by the way, always. But yeah, just the amount of like one and doneing, and then it sends you back to the waiting room, and you have to wait like 2 minutes again to pop up, and then a new challenger is approaching, and then you have to wait another 2 minutes for the syncing to be done, and yeah, it's like hella annoying. I do love Tekken, I love spectating Tekken, I love watching Tekken, but just the online experience just completely ruins it for me.
Oh no, it's fun to watch. I just hate playing it nowadays. I can't stand it no more. Like all my issues with it just kept bubbling to the surface, right? Like I played it for like 2 years fine, like, and then like as I got better and better and understood the mechanics better and better, I just realized, oh, I just don't like this game. you know?
No, that's fair. Sometimes you just have to, discover that.
Right, like all the things you're supposed to like really enjoy about Tekken, other things that specifically annoy me about it. So I'm always like in the situation where like it's weird for me to like often be in the position where I dislike a game specifically for the reasons people like it, you know? Like for example, I hate sidestepping. Like the way it works in Tekken, I dislike it.
Yeah, you're
right?
done.
Like
yeah, it's over.
Like I don't know why. Like people are like, oh, nothing's so satisfying as sidestepping something and then launch punching, right? Like I do it, I feel nothing, you know, and I'm like, oh no.
Whoops. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of it is probably also resentment from my hand injury I got from Korean backdashing.
Oh damn! You got a legit hand injury from KBD.
Yeah, my
on
left
what input device? On what input device?
pad.
Ooh.
Yeah, my left thumb got fucked up, and
yeah.
I can't play on pad for long. Like depending on what I'm playing, I can't play on pad for.
I don't understand how people
thumb,
play. I don't understand how people can play seriously on pad. Like it would wreck my thumb. You know, the amount of charging and maybe specifically from Potemkin, but then always holding that charge. You know, and basically whenever you hold charge with stick, all you have to do is like pull the stick back. You know, to 1 or 3. And hold it there, you know, with your whole hand. That doesn't require much force or effort. However, to keep doing that, and then again and again and again, because Potemkin is ABC, you will always be charging, with only your thumb? Nah, hell no.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it's just like something that happened, right? And then I had to switch to stick, right? Which was a whole ass ordeal.
Was it? For me, it came. I mean, I don't want to say it comes naturally. Well, for me, I had the luck that within my first months of trying fighting games, I got to try out stick and then immediately made the change. So
no, yeah, I had
muscle
already played on pad for like more than a year, like for like good, like for basically all my career I had been playing on pad, and I tried stick like once at an event, and I didn't like it that much. Because ironically, I didn't play any of the characters that need, like at the time, I didn't play any of the characters that needed a DP motion. Right?
Aha. Yeah. Fair.
Weirdly enough, I got into Eliza then.
Oh, yeah.
And suddenly, I way preferred stick. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, someone asked me the other day, like, hey, does the input device really matter, you know? And by the way, while we're having this discussion, no. Like, you can always play with the input device that you want. Like, play with a fucking Guitar Hero controller. Play with Donkey Kong bongos. I don't care.
In a very technical sense, stick is probably the technically worst option you could pick, because it has less capabilities than most other input devices.
Now that Hitbox is here, yes. Now that Hitbox is here, it's
you can do anything you can do on a Hitbox, you can do on pad. That's not a joke.
I mean, you can, but the difference is, again,
it's more convenient on Hitbox, yes, I know.
Well, it's not only more convenient, I think it's more healthy for your hands. Like, I mean, legitimately,
yeah,
because you're putting all your stress in one thumb, and of course, people can do it. You can do it. Someone asked me the question the other day, like, "Hey, for Plus or Potemkin, I'm playing pad. Is that gonna be a problem?" And I said, like, "Okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. With the amount of charging you're gonna do, and the TK 360 motion needed for APB, I do think it's gonna be a big strain on your thumb. However, if you think you can do it, go for it, right?" Just try it. But for me, it's not really that one has an advantage over the other, like, outright. For me, I'm always thinking about what's more healthy for your hands, right?
No,
and pad is rarely the option that's healthy for your hands.
Yeah, like for real, like if it goes for like better for your hands, I do be like a big proponent for like stick and hitbox and whatnot. But like as I said, like if you're thinking of just purely the capabilities of the input device, right? Like then stick is technically the worst option. Because you don't have double directional input on stick, which you do have on pad and on hitbox and on cross up and what have you, right?
Yes, but here's the thing. I don't need double directional inputs for Potemkin.
No, yeah, I know, but like that's what I said, right? That's what I mean, right? Like, right, like technically, right, like the reason people complain in Tekken, for example, about hitbox or keyboard or what have you, right, is because you can use directional canceling, right? You can press back and forward at the same time to input
SOCD.
neutral, right? Yeah. And people complain about that, and I'm like, don't you play on pad? And they're like, yeah. Well, technically, you could move your hand, right, where you have your thumb on your analog stick and your index finger on the D-pad, or even your middle finger, whatever is more comfortable to you, and you can use the same technique to Korean backdash. That's not even a joke. You can do it. You can use the same technique as the cross-up uses for easy perfect electric wind press. You have access to the same things. You just need to hold your pad differently.
Yeah.
Like, so don't go about like cheatbox, whatever. You're playing on a cheaty input device as well, or we just agree there's no cheating here.
Well, that's kind of a nuanced discussion, because in general I feel like it doesn't give an unfair advantage. When we're talking SOCD and Tekken Korean backdash, I'm way out of my league in that discussion, right? I feel like that might be a rare situation where because of how Korean backdash works with the neutral in between, right? You might actually have an advantage on hitbox, but like I said, I'm not educated enough to judge on that. I think it's definitely a discussion that needs to be, needs to be had when it comes to in the future. Like, of course, people like calling it outright cheat box or whatever right out of the gate. That's just bullshit. That's just people hopping on the bandwagon. I do think it's a healthy discussion to have, though, because with more and more methods of input, you gotta make sure you safeguard, you know, fair competition, most of all.
Yeah, the thing is, right, like, I just disagree, because, like, anything the cross-up can do, you can do on pad. If you just change the way you grip the pad and you learn how to use it. And the funny thing is, like, you know why I know this grab is viable and works perfectly fine? Because you do the same thing for Devil May Cry. That's how you hold it for playing Dante.
I'm sure it is, but what about stick then?
Yeah, stick can't do it.
Yeah.
But that's a personal disadvantage you chose. You could also be playing on the pad, right?
Well, the thing is that for a lot of people, it might not have been a personal disadvantage up until this whole SOCD discussion came about, right? And then there's also the second, like, kind of cultural implication that a lot of games, including Tekken, started in the arcade, right? And that was the default input device was a stick, and it's been seen as the default input device for a lot of games that originated in the arcade. So I do think, like, I think there's a discussion to be had there, right? I just recognize that I'm way too, like, not into Tekken to really really have that in depth.
I think the thing is, like, you could fix this really it's like obviously allowed, like, due to the game actually supporting having, like, both analog and digital input at the same time for directional. If they wanted to fix this whole ordeal right away,
they should do it in the game.
They could just patch out that support.
True,
you have to hard choose between analog or digital.
True. And that's always the path I would.
Right?
That's always the path I would encourage, right? Never to outright ban fucking input devices from tourneys or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
right.
like.
But my point is, right, like, the fact that they openly encourage you to use both at the same time, to me says that it's completely fair and on the table to use these kind of input.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Did they design it with that in mind? Because designs of games take a long time, and you're talking, especially for games like Tekken, you're talking about legacy. Also talking about a lot of legacy stuff. So I feel like fighting games developed now should definitely take stuff like that into account, right? But the problem is, how do you retrofit this to games where the developers might not have had it in mind because they were, like, on the cusp of this whole revolution with hitbox, right? I don't think it's as black and white as, okay, just develop your game around it. I mean, now it is, now you can really... for new games that are being developed now, I do think that's definitely a super valid
I just think at this point it makes no sense, because, like, at that point you kind of have to, like, ban keyboard, and I feel like that's, like, just not valid. You can't ban keyboard.
No, that's true.
As long as you have to keep keyboard like a legal controller. In my opinion, keyboard should always be legal, just because that's all people can sometimes use to play a game, and they shouldn't be kicked out of competition just because they can't afford a controller.
That's true, yeah.
And as long as keyboard is capable of something, if a different input device can do it, that's fair.
I wonder how hard it would be to, like, retrofit a patch like in, let's say, Tekken, where they made it impossible to have both inputs at the same time. Right?
Really easy. They just take out that one option in the menu.
Yeah.
It would be like the easiest patch. Like, so, like, for real, like, if I really, like, and they already said that it's tournament legal, right? The cross-up. They already said it's legal. We're allowing it for TWT. So I feel like at this point it's just like, either stop complaining or switch. Yeah.
No, that's a pretty clear signal, you're right. And also, after that initial discussion kind of died down, you haven't heard too much about it.
No, yeah.
Except for people memeing. I feel like half of the people calling hitbox cheatbox are just memeing.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even know.
I don't know, it's just weird to me. Like, I don't know. Like, essentially, like, I remember like explaining to a friend of mine, like, nothing the cross up can do you can't do on pad. They're like, no, blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right, fine. And then and they knew I didn't have a cross up, right? And then I recorded everything they showed off as cross up tag on pad, just to show them, no, I can do this on pad with my thumb injury.
Yeah.
You know, that's not special on you.
Yeah, it's possible, but yeah, then like you run into the problem of what you said before, like no one, like the people who play keyboard shouldn't be excluded because of their input device. But yeah, people who might have like bought a stick in the last few years, right, and can't afford a new input device now, might be stuck with that, right? I do think this kind of, in this day and age, it only really applies to Tekken, you know, because of the Korean backdash and SOCD stuff. Because are there any other huge pros to exploiting SOCD? Like, can you, like, maybe for charge characters, I'm thinking, right? I've heard some stuff here.
No, like, the thing is, I think in some games the charge mechanic is just written badly, so if you hold back, even if it's cancelled out by forward, it still charges for some dumb reason.
Yeah,
but that's like an issue with the game and not the controller. I don't recall if, like, I heard that that's an issue with some games, but I don't remember which games it was, but it's definitely none of the big ones that are, like, competitively played at the moment, right? Like, that's, like, a case-by-case basis, but, like, I feel like it's, like, more like, right, like, obviously the number one pro is that, like, having, like, a single button for each direction, like, really cleans up your inputs, right? Like, you can, like, there's, like, a lot of precision that's, like, intuitively there. Like, you can have the same kind of precision with stick, but it's harder to gain because of just the way the medium works, right? But, you know, you can, right, like, just because it's, like, technically, intuitively easier doesn't mean that everyone who switches to hitbox is suddenly gonna have, like, insane execution god clean inputs.
Yeah.
That it's still a skill you need to learn, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I can imagine doing like a PB motion on the hitbox, you know, that's like 6 3 2 1 4 6. That's like 1 2 3 4 5 6 buttons. You know, it would take a while before I could press those 6 buttons in the right order in quick succession, the same speed I do right now with my muscle memory on stick, right? Where I just basically go.
Yeah, and like the point I was making with stick is, right, like, you technically give up some functionality of the input device, right? Because you can't, like, input back and forward at the same time and what have you, right? You just can't do that with a normal stick, right? But in return, right, you could also just use a cross-up for having that, right? That's, like, a valid option now, but, like, without it, like, let's ignore that its existence for a moment. Like, I think the number one thing that's most important for your controller choice is whether or not it's comfortable to you.
Yeah.
Like, just pick whatever is most comfortable and just get good at using that.
Yeah, that's the same what I was talking about with, like, the, you know, keeping your hands healthy and shit. That's it has to feel right, you know. It shouldn't put too much strain on your ligaments and shit. So yeah, just pick whatever input device fits you. And yeah, if you play keyboard, then because I don't know how that's handled right now, more tournaments are switching to PC, luckily, so that would probably be a bit easier to
like
know.
It's funny because, like, PC only fighting games, right, like, have, like, a way higher amount of people that play on keyboard. Like, for example, Them's Fighting Herds, like keyboard is basically tournament standard. Most people play on keyboard. It's so funny, like, because, like, the PC is the tournament standard platform, right? So everybody just rolls up with a keyboard, like, with, like, an adapter that makes it look like an Xbox controller to the computer.
Oh, that's nice.
Right, like, and I feel like keyboard is definitely something, right? Like, it's basically, like, keyboard and hitbox basically have, like, the exact same functionality, right? They obviously, the difference is, like, a hitbox has, like, big dedicated nice buttons, and a keyboard has, like, a lot of small kind of crappy buttons.
Lot of dead weight.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I know some people are like, but I have a nice mechanical, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit, right? The hitbox buttons are nicer. I'm sorry, they just are.
It just be like that.
Right? That's like obviously, but like, what I think is really cool is that like there's there's also the mix box. If you just prefer the feeling of WASD, you can just get a mix
The first
box.
time I saw that, I was like, oh damn, that's hilarious. But I can't understand, right? For people
I
who-
think more cursed is like the kind of mix box where like instead of like having the movement buttons, it's just half of a DS4 for the D-pad.
Ooh,
Have you seen those before? They're so fucking demented. Like holy
That's
shit.
weird. Yeah, that's weird. I've seen that one before.
Like
yeah.
if that's what you want, that's fair, right?
Go
Fine,
for it,
more power
right,
to you.
yeah.
But to me, that just looks so fucking cursed.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
I mean,
like,
you know, if it feels right for you, then go for it.
yeah. But
It's all
as,
good.
as people are saying in chat, like what I really love about Stick personally is the motion, how the motion feels. Right, like I can play on keyboard just fine, right? Hitbox, whatever. Like if you give me that, I can probably play just fine with it, right?
Yeah.
But
it's a feeling. It's
yeah,
a feeling.
but I just prefer how Stick feels. Like I love, like when I do a Fafnir, doing that half circle input, right? Like just even something as simple as doing like a quarter circle or like a DP motion. It's just
You have a Quam
fast.
Obsidian too, right?
yeah, we have the same stick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really love it. Really good stick.
I don't know, something about like doing a DP motion on like 2P is just the most fun shit ever. Where you just flick your thumb to the left and then you close your wrist, like you close your hand, and it just does the motion for you. That's so satisfying.
Yeah.
I remember when I got the stick, I would go into training mode on Tekken 7, pick like a Mishima and just spam electric wind gun fist, like vroom 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 vroom. It was so funny.
Yeah, I might get into Tekken now with the Tekken 8 announcement, depending on how the online is.
I have a very, very simple rule. No Eliza, no Tekken.
No
8.
buy, no buys.
No buy. No Eliza, no Biza. I for real, whenever I come back, like whenever I play Tekken 7 at the later stages, I only play it to play Eliza.
There's a character. Yeah, but then you gotta hope that the character makes it into 8.
Considering how much they hate 2D characters in the Tekken community, I doubt she's coming back. And if she's coming back,
mean,
probably not in the way I want her to be.
Maybe there'll be another 2D type character in.
I don't know. We'll see.
In Tekken 8.
Like, I love
really wonder how
Asuka,
they're gonna handle
but,
that. I really wonder how they're gonna handle that with the Akuma, Geese, Eliza reception, right? How they're gonna, because there's still a lot of Tekken players who don't really like that whole new wave of 2D characters.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry, but like, I just prefer having like special cancels and stuff. That's just how I like playing my fighting game.
Yeah, I mean it's fair. It's a super good strategy from, from the Tekken devs to do that, right? It definitely got a lot more people in the game also from Street Fighter.
Like I think the biggest issue I had like later on, I feel like it kept compounding, right? Like I didn't like too much like the way Tekken works, right? Like with like weird inconsistencies on hurt boxes and hit boxes and sidestepping being weird and Korean backdash is just
It's
right?
really
right, like
really
it's a lot,
dynamic.
and then like the entire game is just it's just like constantly knowledge checking you, and you know, like it just all compounds. And then on top of that, Eliza has like it's like super executionally demanding on top of that, and her best tool is like super inconsistent hitbox wise. You basically, right, her down 3 is like her best tool.
Yeah.
It's like a low kick that is special cancelable.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Right? But the only time you actually get to cancel into a move and have it like combo is when you
That's
get a
a
clean
bar.
hit.
Oh,
And-
clean.
and-
Oh yeah, clean it.
And unless you're spending meter, the only move that connects is DP2, which is minus 28 on block.
Oof. Yeah.
So there I was, a naive child, having my opponent, like running in on my opponent, being right next to them, hitting them with a down 3, canceling into DP2. By the way, you have to do it on, you can't do it on reaction, you can't hit confirm it, you just have to let it rock,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Right? I hit them with down 2, right? I'm right next to them, I hit them, and they block my DP.
Oh shit. Yeah.
right?
And you
like,
got wrecked. Yeah.
I read my hello would hit. It did hit, but because of weird hitbox shenanigans, I got killed for it.
Yeah, Tekken definitely has a hand in that. That's for sure.
I'm sorry, but trash game. Hate it.
I love seeing this weird shit sometimes online where, there's this weird hitbox interaction where people just get flung to the weird side or they pop under someone or whatever the fuck. And,
it's
kind of jank is funny to watch, but it must be super frustrating. When
like it's funny as fuck to watch, but it's just so frustrating when you actually try and play.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's just like my personal gripes with the game, and I just realized it's not for me. But good on the people that actually do enjoy it. With two kings chest bumped each other, they TP for each other, yeah. I remember it took them like multiple years to make Fang stop teleporting through people constantly, and he still does it sometimes.
Ooh, Bagel, are you talking like forward 2+3 or something? That chest bump? If two kings do that to each other, they TP through each other? I haven't seen that one before. I think that's forward 2.
Yeah.
Oh, forward 1+4 are the other two. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's dope. I've never seen that before. That looks funny.
I think what's also really cursed is like when like shit trades, right? Like when you have like a huge launcher and it trades with like a jab, and you just get a better combo as a result.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
It's nice. All right. I think I'm gonna go grab some food soon. I do be getting a bit hungry.
Yeah.
I'm also just finished my level for balloons. I am level 20 now, by the way, so we can co-op sometime. Yay!
Hell yeah, we can play co-op. Expect Leap to make a return on the stream someday. More balloons.
Becoming a balloon streamer.
Now with actual popping.
Yeah, I did have the pops very low on the background, so I can still hear them. Still get the dopamine.
It's such a nice sound.
Uh-huh.
I remember when I still played Exit, like I really like Baiken's Azami sound, like the high ching, right?
Yeah.
Terrible for my tinnitus, right? So And made me a mod that replaced that sound with a balloon pop from Bloons.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was the funniest shit when I did like a big ass super with a ton of hits on it, like DI Tyrant Rave, and it just goes.
You're like, oh yeah, balloons dopamine. Let's go.
But yeah, damn man, it's been a fun talk. Jesus Christ.
That was fun.
We got lost. Like here on the Small Brain podcast, we have a small brain and a small attention span.
Hell yeah. I mean, we kept it pretty on topic when it came
a lot
to
of fighting game talk, content creation talk. We talked about Pathfinder. I don't think there's much other stuff that we really need to discuss or want to discuss right now. Maybe for a future episode you can hop back on, right? Someday in the future, but
I mean, you know where to find me.
Benevolence.
Yes. But also online, you know where to find me.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so everybody, like, I enjoy, like, thank you so much for joining us. Do remember to follow Leapfrog on Twitch, Leapfrog_pod show. I'm putting it in the chat. The same goes for his Twitter.
Thank you.
Do follow him on there. He posts like funny Potemkin clips. Like if you're into Potemkin, definitely a good content creator to follow. And as I say, I vouch for his streams. They're super fun. You'll see me in there. I'm a moderator. Do be prepared for nothing I say to ever connect to anything that's happening on screen.
That's fair. That's fair. Just there for the vibes.
I am there for the vibes. Like I remember yesterday, like obviously I got buried in the exit time. I was just trying to talk about how much fun I had, like playing Strive. Man, I was so sad. Like I was playing for like 5 hours, right? And my wrist started like hurting, right? But I wanted to go for another hour so bad, so I could raid you when you go live.
Yeah.
I was so annoying. I was like, damn it. I just
That's
had to stop.
fine.
I had to stop playing.
Yeah, I mean, don't fucking wreck your hands or
I
your
can't.
wrists. Just
Look. I have an injury on my left hand. I might as well go injure my right hand just for the symmetry.
No, don't balance it out. No. Not all things have to be perfectly balanced.
I mean, it would make sense because it was my right wrist and not my right thumb.
Okay. Yeah. But it was fun. Thank you so much for having me. I'll probably be streaming Exort in a little while because I can already see that multiple people from my fans list are playing it right now. I gotta strike this iron while it's hot because people are definitely gonna get sick of the delay again in maybe like a week or two and
20
be like
seconds.
and I'll wait for the rollback update, right? But the thing is, luckily here in EU West, I do have I am blessed with a lot of people that I have a pretty decent connection with. Like there are a lot of regions when it comes to XR who aren't so lucky, and for those regions, the rollback update is going to be like even more important. For me, it's just going to widen my available player base to play with, right? But for some people, it's actually going to be the difference between being playable or not playable outright, you know. So looking forward to welcoming some other regions to the scene.
Yeah, NA East is gonna like be in your playable pool.
Oh, for sure, yeah, and probably also a little bit to the south, maybe, EMEA.
EMEA is probably gonna be the region of play for most Europeans.
I really hope it's gonna be just as good as the Plus R update in the end, because holy shit, Plus R rollback is such good rollback. I really hope.
I mean, yeah, like Arx's rollback in general is just really good. Like Strive, Plus R, BBCF, BB Tag, as far as I've heard as well. Like you play, you hop on them. Anyone in like EMEA is usually like super playable. Like NA East is playable. Sometimes even NA like Central. There here and there, some people there are actually playable.
I've actually played West. I've actually played against West and
sometimes.
And on some occasions it actually was playable and okay.
I remember playing KI and like the majority of people I played with were like from California, and it just
it
was so funny. It was so funny. Like,
but with so many Guilty Gears getting the rollback now, you literally have no excuse not to be playing a Guilty Gear.
Play Guilty Gear!
I want to see you in those lobbies. I want to see you in those streams.
I want to see you in the tower. I want to see you in the Plus R quick match. I want to see you in the exit player lobbies.
Yes.
Play all of them right now. I know that's hypocritical of me to say, but do it!
Oh, do it. Play all of them.
Play all of them. Play the same character in all three.
Yeah.
I dare you.
I double dare you. All right.
Which I wanted. I just want to say real quick. I fucking love that like in every single Guilty Gear game, Soul does different loops.
Yeah.
He does Sidewinder in Plus R, Dust loop in Exit, and 5K loops in Strive.
Loops are the best indeed. I do be a loop enthusiast. Yes.
Loops. But yeah.
Loop.
Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you did enjoy being here on the podcast, just vibing, talking, enduring my stupid questions.
No, not at all. I had fun.
Next week we're gonna have Maru on. If you don't know Maru, she is a fantastic VTuber from North America. She also sometimes plays fighting games on her stream, but mostly like other stuff. I think recently she's been playing Cyberpunk. She's my favorite VTuber personally.
Did she start playing Cyberpunk because of Edge Runners, just like everyone else?
She? Probably. I played it on launch.
I still need to see the... have you seen it, by the way?
No, not yet. But we can watch it together if you want.
Ooh, yeah.
After we're done with Konosuba.
Yes, gotta finish Konosuba first. Yes. It's a wonderful world indeed.
But I've got some more people lined up for all the weeks. So I'll be posting this on YouTube. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks everybody in chat for hanging out. And I'll see you all on my next stream, which is probably gonna be tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, you'll see me all every day in October, so you know, do mark that down.
So which days are you streaming in October? Actually, all of them.
I don't know, just a few of them, just a few. Yeah, no, I'll be streaming all throughout October. So if you have time, like in the afternoons, like 13 CEST, right onwards, for like 5-6 hours, do check by. Like if you got like downtime on work, you know where to find me. Anyway, again, thank you so much for coming, Leapfrog. I had a bunch of fun. This was really cool.
My pleasure.
And looking forward to playing some Bloons together. I'm sorry I didn't mention earlier that you need to level up first.
No, that's no problem. I mean, I just, I was just vibing, doing a little leveling up, and this is a nice little, time killer game for when I have some time. And the addiction is definitely starting to form. So if you try and maintain this addiction with me and get me to play Bloons often enough, then yes, definitely.
All right, I'll see you all around. Thank you all so much. Bye bye.
Yeah.